Hey, we are back. Episode 195, right in front of you, raring to go. We got a lot to talk about tonight because, of course, this weekend is the big 9th Comic Art Live event over on Comic Art Fans. So lots of work still in progress for that. We're finishing up some programming this evening and probably tomorrow morning, some last minute stuff that I'll go over with everybody. So you're prepared for some changes that you're going to see when you enter the exhibit hall, and primarily through communication streams and things like that. Other than that, we've got a weekly flip from Tim Guerrero. Looking forward to show that off for everybody. You might have already seen some of that work if you talked with Tim at OAX last January. But we'll get things started with Bob. Bob is actually, he's going to be traveling later today. But we've got a little clip to show you before we bring him on. And I hope you enjoy it.
So, Bill and Castro, here we are again. Another drink and draw. How about that? Here I am with Impio, our president. Who's, actually, you can't see, but he's wearing shorts. It's like, it's very summery. Mm-hmm. So, tonight, we are doing Bring on the Bad Guys. We realize we've never actually done a episode of Drink and Draw where we did nothing but villains. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing Dr. Doom because I'm well known for Dr. Doom, and it's one of those things I can draw from memory. But hopefully, if Castro is paying attention, somebody will do a MODOK because Castro is the world's biggest MODOK fan. All right. So I'm hoping to get one of these guys to draw MODOK for you, brother. All right. So anyway, on with the show.
Well, Bill and Castro, we're at Drink and Draw here. As you can see, we had a very small turnout tonight with Joey and Cleo being away. There's been no grease fires, thank goodness. Sorry, that was my joke. Anyway, so, Impio.
What I'm drawing? You enjoyed the last shit?
Okay, I love that because tonight's thing's being villains. I dig that. All right, cool. So, like you said, unfortunately, very small turnout tonight. Plus, the weather's beautiful outside.
Hey, Bob. How's it going?
Konnichiwa!
You've been practicing?
I'm practicing because I'm heading out to Japan in about 3 hours. So, like I said, I've been exiled from Korea. I have to go there.
Do they make you stay away for a certain amount of time, or you just have to
No,
go?
it automatically resets as soon as I leave. I can literally turn around and come back tomorrow. But yeah, as I was telling you in the green room, there's something about being forced to leave the country, that just kind of sticks in your craw a little bit. So, but hey, the name of the show is Where in the World is Bob Leighton? It's about time I got off my ass and went somewhere, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So, I'm heading out to Tokyo and I'll be there till Wednesday. I will be back in time for the next Drink and Draw, but we should talk about the mystery sketch thing, right? Because I am participating, right?
Yes. Yeah. You are. You've
all right. And
yes.
When is that? That's going to start Saturday.
So effectively, we start doing it tomorrow night. We end up having a kind of a kickoff event for the entire weekend, and any of the artists that are free can join a stream tomorrow night at 9, and we just kind of BS for a couple hours. The artists draw, and so it really kind of starts then. But yeah, that's and then we give the artists a couple weeks to get the art in the mail, and then we start unboxing and showing off the pieces. And we've done pretty well this time around. We have over 200 mystery sketches sold So there's going to be a lot of art hitting calf
I
in the
threw
next 30 days.
a bunch in there.
Exactly. So it's fun. We're gonna have a good time with it, and I'm glad you were able to participate this time around.
Well, yeah, I think so, like I said, it's been tough with everything going on here, but whatever. We should talk about one more thing too before we. I know you got a busy show today or whatever, but I was just gonna let everyone know out there that next week will be my last "Where in the World is Bob Leighton" episode. After over 50 episodes or whatever, I suddenly realized. I talked to Castro last week, and I said I suddenly realized that everybody knows where in the world I am. And it's kind of like, I'm gonna, I'm here for a while in Korea, and I'm not traveling again for a bit. So I kind of thought, like, well, this is kind of silly. Either we change the name of the show, or I move on. But I think, next week's going to be my last regular episode. Now, when I travel, I told Coster I will do a special episode of Where in the World is Bob Leighton when I'm actually on the road, because I'm still planning on going to Singapore and Manila, and amongst other places. So when I do that, I'll come on and we'll have a special episode of Where in the World is Bob Leighton. But I started to realize that our segments here we're turning into porn. It's always the same thing every week. It's the same thing every week because I'm not traveling, and I went back and watched some of the old episodes, and it was a lot more fun when I was on the road, and commenting on various places or whatever. So anyway,
we do expect you to shoot video when you're out and about, if you're on a set or anything like that.
Oh, so no, but that's more like
Bob Leighton regularly, I think, but it just won't be maybe live all the time. We might be getting some recorded episodes like the WTF was.
It's like more of a WTF, one of those episodes, which I'm perfectly happy to do those. Right. It's like where I embarrass people on camera, famous people on camera. I'm absolutely, I love doing that. But it just seemed to me like, the whole drink and draw thing, every week, just, showing the same stuff. I was, getting bored of it. I can imagine the viewers,
draw, though, right? You were having a good time at the drink and draw.
Oh, no, drink and draw is great. I mean, last night was a slow turnout because of Free Comic Book Day. That place was packed last week. And Joy said there were people eating. There were no table space. People were eating their dinners off chairs, using them for tables because the place was so packed. And usually after any event like that, the next drink and draw, like nobody shows up, right?
Right, of course.
They've shot their comic wad, so it's like no, we're going to continue with the drink and draw because it's a charitable event, and I don't want to give up on that.
Yeah, of course,
we're taking some of those drawings to Tokyo to try to sell there for charity or whatever. But no, I called Cass because I just decided that like. Either we need to change the format of my segment or whatever, but Where in the World, like I said, I don't plan on traveling that much. I'm going to visit some places in Asia, but it just doesn't, I was looking at it going, okay, this is kind of dumb,
well, just dumb, but I get it. We should, we got to shake things up.
We're not giving the viewers anything new, and and to me that's like first and foremost. I want the people that come in on the CAF live here to be entertained. But even if I'm bored with it, I can't imagine how they feel.
They're not saying anything negative in the chat. They're saying they want their daily or their weekly, not daily.
Well, then Pastor needs to come up with a new segment. Okay.
Yes. We'll work on that.
Maybe as I come on and I tell stories that embarrass about people, it's like I tell Vinny Coletta stories or something, It's like or whatever, or my time in Hollywood or some kind of thing like that, reminisce. But it's again, what does that have to do with selling comic art or collecting comic art, right? Absolutely nothing. I create art, and that's fine. But I like I said, I am a promoter as much as you are. you know. And like you said, I'd rather like stop now rather than you guys ask me to stop.
I get
So,
it. I do. Well, then that way
yeah.
you're going to come back at all the high points, and that's good.
Exactly. I'll come back and we'll do a WTF, or we'll do Where in the World's Bobbly when I'm actually on the road. Like I'll have footage from Japan next week.
Mhm.
You know, so with the whole Japanese con and Takiawada and everybody, because my buddy Tak over there is one of the famous Dragon Ball Z illustrators. So he's hugely famous in Japan, and and he's a funny guy. So it's like I'll get some time with him on camera as well as walking around the show a little bit and getting some of the taste of Japanese Comic-Con world. You know.
So you actually have a booth, right, or a table?
Yeah, we have a couple of tables, you know, there. So Joey and Cleo are already over there. That's why there's no Joey on tonight, you know.
Mhm.
They're already over there, and yeah, it's a 2-day show, but we're gonna the general policies and countries visitors visa has time restrictions. Yeah, until I get a green card here, which is really difficult in Korea. I have to leave every 90 days anyway. So I can guarantee you every 90 days you're going to get a Where the World is Bobbling, okay?
So we get our quarterly fix at the very least. But
yeah,
that's
we'll
all
have
right.
you're going to have to cut me some slack next week because we're going to have probably a little bit longer than usual show. You know,
That's fine.
pick up the full half hour probably, you know.
I have nothing on the schedule at all for next Thursday.
So yeah, everybody can tune in for the farewell episode of we did 50 something, right? Episodes with
It's
me
pretty
traveling around
close.
the world.
I forget when did you start your trip last year?
Most sitcoms don't go 50 episodes.
No, they don't.
Yeah, so no, I listen. I've been really grateful for you guys doing this and promoting me and stuff like that. And I'm going to reach out to all the people that I met along the way and ask them for a little testimonial or whatever. So we should have a pretty good time.
Good.
And there'll be another drink and draw next week before I come on. So, so anyway, I just wanted to let everybody out there. I want to thank them so much for tuning in every week and putting up with my bullshit. It's like you know, it's but it's time to change the format and move on. And you know me, I'm a forward thinking guy, you know, and it's like
you are.
Yeah.
Well,
and
we'll,
I didn't want to be asked to leave, so I decided to leave on my own.
Well, that wasn't you weren't at the point where I was going to ask you to leave at all, Bob. But I get it, and I think a change is always good. And yeah, there's plenty, but you know, there's always space for you to come back when things are happening in your life, or when there's a great drink and draw, or you guys want to actually auction some pieces off. So, you know, if you got a stack of art that you have, you know, you've gotten set up from drink and draws, you want to show off, you know, we can bring you back for any number of reasons. But yeah, that's
Casa says I should do a new show called Cancel Me. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. At least I got Simona doing my MODOK, right? Doing my
I saw that.
MODOK.
Yeah.
You know, it's like so I knew that would make him happy. Anyway, Jonathan, in Korea, it's every 90 days here. You have to leave until you getting your green card is really, really tough, man. You guys saw the toy, the Japanese toy maker. This is a really cool toy with art on it. Believe it or not, it's one of the few manufacturers that ever bothered to send me a sample, you know? So I just kind of threw that in there because I thought it was like, that's the prototype that I'm holding. It's like it's not even available yet.
That's going to be valuable. I hope you've put it in a lockbox.
Always got it in a safe place. Yes, exactly. Okay. You know, Mr. Matsumoto was nice enough to actually send me one. Most of the manufacturers that steal our artwork don't usually bother to give us samples. So I was very grateful. He'll be at the show actually, so I'm going to actually meet with these guys from
that's cool.
Hot Toys Japan while I'm there.
So did they get your name on the card at all on the board? Is it?
I never looked at it that close. I'm not that big an egomaniac. You know,
I would have checked it looking for my name.
It's in Japanese, so I couldn't read it anyway. It probably says Tom Leighton. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, if I know how the translators work, yeah, I'm sure Tom's on there somewhere. Anyway, it's a great package though, and it's a great little figure. Yeah, I was really thrilled about that, and I'll meet with them, and I'll try to find out because everybody's been asking me since I posted this how they could get one, and as soon as I find out that kind of information, I'll pass it on to you guys. So anyway, that's about all the news from here. I did do a couple commissions this week.
Oh, that's right. Let me see.
I was still working on the stuff for Nikki, getting it colored, but I did. I loved Sal Buscema, but he never did that many covers at Marvel. Strangely enough, I guess he didn't like doing covers. But this is one of my favorite covers he ever did, because I loved Scorpio from Nick Fury, and all that kind of stuff. So Spencer suggested that I do some more Avengers covers, so I did this one because it was particularly a favorite of mine. I got that blending in really good too. With I'm getting good with these alcohol markers in terms of learning how to blend them.
Yeah.
So I had time to do that, and I did. There was another one. Team Up. It's really rare when somebody else inks me, and with rare exception, like Barry Windsor Smith, I'm generally not that thrilled with the way other people ink me. This one originally was inked by Rubenstein, so I decided I was going to just redo it, my way. If I had inked it. So this was Spencer's first cover that he ever bought, apparently, first comic he ever bought or something.
So is this going to go up on his wall?
I don't know. Again, it's like, but it was fun to revisit that. I can't show Space Ghost or Johnny Quest yet until they're solicited. They went out for solicitation, so maybe next week I can actually show them if I don't know when the Diamond catalog. I don't keep track of this. Sure, I don't know. But as soon as I'll post them as soon as I can.
Right. Nick would have it in all of his PR if he were able to. So I haven't seen it yet because I keep checking to see if
they had to get them colored quickly to make the solicitation for the catalog. So they're colored. So I imagine whenever the next Diamond catalog comes out, then it'll be we can post them or whatever. So anyway, that's kind of the deal here. From I printed this. I printed the background on the board. I captured it from a comic and printed it on the board with the logo. I just silhouetted out the space for the characters so I could redo them. Because you can't get zip anymore. It was difficult, but I'm getting pretty good with this Photoshop kind of composite stuff where I can do a drawing over Photoshopped logos and stuff. Because it's great to have them on the board and not be a paste up. Right. Thank you, Sean. He knows because all Sean's are paste ups. Because I have to do his old school, but by combining modern technology with this, I can recreate covers, everything on the board. So it's kind of like I like it that way. If people don't like it, don't buy it. It's like, but for me, it makes it's a nicer looking piece when it's finally done. There's no paste ups or any of that kind of stuff. So but anything that has Zipatone on it usually presents a problem. But hey, there you go.
It's a lot of guys are using zip in their convention sketches and things anymore. We always have several of the mystery sketches where they're using a Zipatone on them as well. So
Well, yeah, they make the Japanese still make the Zipatone, but the dot pattern is really tight. And it'll moire if you put color on it.
Yep.
Yeah. So I try to avoid that. That's why I used to put color notes all the time. Do not color zip in red on the side, and they would still put color on it, and then you get some crappy moire pattern, right?
Well, there's got to be some art on Comic Art Fans that has your notes on it that say "Don't color the zip." I mean, right?
Steve, I'll check out when I'm in Japan because I'll be at a Comic-Con if anybody's selling stuff, especially art supplies, because I'm running low on art supplies and I can't get Amazon here. Yeah, I'm probably going to be looking around for some people selling art supplies at the con, just to bring back some stuff here.
Well,
so yeah. Anyway,
anything when you're bringing it across the border.
I don't know. Cleo had me fill out some sort of form that allows me to be duty free. It's like a little UPC code or whatever that you apply for or whatever. So I think I'll be fine. Yeah, I did exactly. Yeah, similar in the because I had to do that. Sean's talking about. There's one where there's a monster, like a laser monster hologram, and I had to do a separate piece of art and then scan it and print it on green over the artwork I already drew. In order to get the same effect as the comic. It was a commission I did for him way back when. Shipping stuff to Korea is, someone's asking here. I have a friend in the States. It's customs that's the problem here. They're really strict, and it's really hard to get stuff into the country. I can get stuff out, but it's really hard to get stuff in. Not a problem. I'm highly adaptable. Like I said, forward thinking. I'm always figuring out ways to do this stuff. But like I said, for the time being, after I get back, I'm here in Korea for the foreseeable, or whatever. Probably, because I don't know if we ever talked about this. The cost of living here is so cheap compared to America. It's one of the reasons. And I am officially retired. I put in for my Social Security and stuff like that, so I can live here just dirt cheap compared to the States or any place else. And I like the food, as you know, squiggly, wiggly food. So, it's like I decided for the time being, I'm just going to stay put. Plus, it's, weather's nice now and everything like that. But so next week, we'll have a very special show. And I ask everybody to tune in, and we'll do our last Where in the World is Bob Leighton?
Drink a toast to you, Bob. Well, we know you'll be there.
I don't drink, so you'll have to drink it for me. Okay.
I'll drink too.
All right.
We're very short. But your Doom came out pretty nice, though. I wanted to.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, without a lot of distractions there, like people, it was real easy to concentrate.
Yes.
So we only had 5 people turn out last night. So because usually, like I said, after Joey has a big event, the next thing is usually slow. So I love the fact that MPO did Nurse Ratchet. We do like villains. He did Nurse Ratchet from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It cracked me up. Yeah, well, she's really one of the great villains of all time, right?
Oh yeah.
It was unexpected. That's why I found it amusing.
James Siegel says you should eat a tentacle to close out your year.
Well, I already did that once. So we should,
do it live.
Hey, Casra, here's an idea. Put together a clip of all the crap I've eaten over the last year, okay? Put together a quick, snippet of all the stuff I've jammed in my gob that's wiggly and squiggly and makes Bill turn green, and let's do a little quick video. Kind of recapping the whole thing.
We need to get you on some Korean commercials because you can ham it up for the porkgasms and those sorts of things.
Jonathan, I already ate one of the live octopuses. I already went Old Boy. Bill loved that one.
I did,
especially when it stuck to my lip. No, I went Old Boy. I went chicken feet. I went poop shoot. I've done silkworm larva. But Costa should put together a quick cut thing for this just to make you nauseous, Bill, for the last episode.
We can. I've got all the footage now.
Infant with porkgasm.
Exactly. I've got it. I've got that. Well, I don't even know where that clip went. James says, but James, he's not going to drink tequila, so he can't drink the worm.
Yeah, I can't do the worm, man. I do not drink, so there you go. Bring sample supplies to Bob. Yeah, if you do come to Korea, bring art supplies. Absolutely, that would be great.
We can work that
So
out. A care
anyway,
package.
I'm gonna go finish packing here, Bill. And
All right.
like I said, I'm gonna catch the bus. What's really great about Korea? There's a direct bus to the airport just 2 blocks from here, and it runs every 20 minutes instead of having to take a cab, which is like $75. It's about $10. You get on a really nice bus, really nice clean bus, and it picks you up and it takes you directly to the airport. It's they have mass transit worked out here really well.
Can't
So
beat
yeah,
that.
I'm gonna catch the bus to the airport, and I'm smuggling stuff for Joey. I have like
I don't want to know where. It better
100
be in your
copies of
bag. That's
Secret
all I have to
Wars.
say.
I have 100 copies of Secret Wars 4 Chromium cover stashed in my bag now for Joey. I have to sneak into Japan. It's like, oh well, if I get caught, Joey said he'd pay my fines.
Well, as long as he's going to cover them, then you got nothing to worry about.
All right. Well, listen, have a great week. Have a good show. And I'll see you guys next week for our last episode.
You got it, Bob. We'll have fun at the con, and I expect to see a lot of video. And I hope you have a good time. I really do.
brother.
All right. Take it easy. See ya.
Bye.
All right. So yeah, one more episode with Bob on a regular basis, and then he'll be back with some WTF episodes, and who knows what, anything that kind of suits our fancy. Whenever he does something fun, we'll bring him back. So we got a lot of stuff to cover, especially related to Comic Art Live tomorrow. So I figured before we do that, I've got a weekly flip. Tim Guerrero sent one in. It's a Why the Last Man flip. So anybody who saw or hung out with Tim at all, he had that portfolio. At least I think he had a couple portfolios, but he brought that one to get some pages signed by Jose Marzan and maybe somebody else too while he was there. But he was taking care of that at OAX. But we have a flip because he probably was going to move some stuff around, so he wanted to record it before he did that. So let's take a look at the weekly flip from Tim, and I hope you enjoy it.
This is a weekly flip through of Anitoya exclusively with Why the Last Man art. This art I took to OAX so that the inker for both Pia Guerra and Goran Sutsuka would sign all the pages. So all of this I had at OAX. Mr. Marsan told me that this is the biggest collection of Why the Last Man art that he'd seen outside of himself. Most are Goran Sutsuka art pages. I really loved this series when it came out. And when I started collecting OA, one of my goals was getting art from this series. Beautifully inked by Jose Marzan Jr. There's still a couple of issues that I wish to include in this collection, but they haven't come out to market in order to purchase them. I recommend anyone that hasn't read this series to do so. It is a really fun series. Okay, thank you.
was the flip from Tim. Thanks, Tim. We appreciate it. And what does Larry say? He says he's got a couple pages, but not enough to fit in an entire portfolio. That's unfortunate, Larry. But, I'm glad you're putting stuff in a portfolio and not a FedEx box, right? So, yes, thank you for doing that, Tim. Oh, Tim is in here. Good. You only had Jose sign at OAX. That was right. Your daughter shot that. Not bad. She was shooting video at OAX as well, as I remember. So let's see here. We got a lot to talk about related to Comic Art Live this weekend. Well, maybe not a lot, but enough to cover a bit of time here. Some of the stuff we're going to talk about is just some generic, related to changes. And I might as well just get into the changes right up here ahead of everything else. Let me share a screen here. Effectively, what we've done is we've taken the email system that's existed with Comic Art Live for the first 8 iterations of it, which was a very rudimentary system. Basically, an email, somebody wants to make an inquiry about a piece of art, or they want to buy a piece of art, or they just want to send you a question from your exhibitor booth. You got an email that allowed you to just reply to that person, right? And from the email. So it wasn't integrated into CAF whatsoever. And initially that kind of shocked everybody because they're so used to CAF mail and having a system where they can track everything and have it on CAF. But I think everybody got used to it. But I never was really happy with that. And really, I think at the end of the day, we need it integrated into CAF. I mean, you're still going to get an email into your email client, whatever you're using, but at the same time, you're going to be able to keep that. If you want, you can just do it entirely through your booth, or actually through CAF's email system, because the emails are going to show up in both places. So let me get a screen shared here, and we can talk about that. Where is that screen? It's this one right here. All right, need that full screen doing. All right, so resize this a little bit. This is basically my admin for my booth, and I'm bringing art. So let's see. So if you get an email inquiry, that's going to go into your mail client, whatever that is, your Gmail or whatnot. But it's going to bring you back into effectively this system that's going to look a lot like your CAF mailbox. And it's going to, so you'll be able to get in here, and we've been running tests through Mark Hayes' booth and a few other people, because we wanted to see effectively how it's all going to end up looking. But what you're going to do is you're going to have, like for me, I sent a contact request to Mark, related to some piece that he had in his booth. We replied to each other, and I can send another message. So it looks exactly like CAF mail today, which is, I think is a plus. It just makes the whole thing more seamless. I've had numerous sellers say that they wish that, that everything was self-contained within CAF. So this is going to allow you to do that. And the cool thing is that not only, you're going to have this inbox within your exhibitor booth, but if we go over to my main CAF mailbox, you'll see that these emails are all there as well. I mean, these are the replies that I've gotten from Mark A. fictitiously, or my son's CAF account as well. And basically you can, so in fact, you can get to these emails from both places. And you, as a attendee emailing a booth owner, you're going to be able to just go into your CAF mailbox and filter it on your sent items, and you'll be able to see any of the emails that you sent out as well. And as you know, we always had a link that we would add underneath the Comic Art Live menu up here for emails that you sent to anybody who was exhibiting. That link will still be there, but it's going to send you back into your CAF mailbox now. And because at that point now, you can carry on those communications with the exhibitor after the fact. So, you can just hop in there, click on the email, and handle your reply right from there. Just, it's the same email we were looking at when we were in the exhibitor booth. So much better system, and it really fits in better with our concept with the app as well, because the email system is going to be a part of the app. And we felt that if we're going to do that, we really needed to integrate Comic Art Live emails into calf mail as well. So, so that everything is there, because we're expecting in November that not only, that we will have the Comic Art Live 10th show integrated into the app as well. So you really need a system that keeps everything kind of in one place. And now you will. So so I'm glad. Tariq, thank you. Yes. So it keeps it good, keeps it simple, and that was what we wanted. And really, I'd say that's like it's been a pain in the butt. If Maureen were here to talk about it, she'd probably tell you that it was a lot of work for what seems like a little effort, but trust me, it was definitely worth it. She's put a fair amount of time into it. Other things we did are stuff that you're really not going to even notice. We put a lot of time in to optimizing several of the pages, just from a speed standpoint. As far as like preloading things, I think everybody's going to be happy with, as premium members, when everything opens up at 11 a.m. on Saturday. I think we're not going to see any of those slowdown issues that we had a couple shows ago last May. We spent a considerable amount of time since November, just going over a lot of the routines and things that we felt could be improved upon. And again, all of that kind of forward thinking as it relates to the app and where we wanted to be come the end of 2024, when we have the 10th anniversary show, or well, not 10th anniversary, I guess, our 10th show. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and at least for me, to kind of outline it for Maureen a bit, she would say I didn't do a good enough job outlining it because it was pretty complex. There are certain things in there that we can't carry over, like one thing you don't see here on this page. I guess we look at the inbox side of things. You don't see the thumbnail. So like, typically when you're getting an email inquiry about something and it's from a piece of artwork, we can carry the thumbnail over. At least right now, we can't do that. And we really don't want to do that, because we do clear out all of your art from your booth at the end of a show. So maintaining that thumbnail image within the mail system didn't seem appropriate. If we come up with a different kind of model or concept to save those images forever, maybe we could integrate it in there. But right now, that's not there. But at the end of the day, you don't really need the thumbnail. It's something that this is all kind of immediate. It's happening over the weekend, so you're going to know, that like the piece by Tony or whatnot. It's going to be easy for you to figure out what pieces are attached to which email based on who who you were emailing with. So there you have that. But as far as Comic Art Live goes, we're actually kind of ahead of where we were this time last year. I think if everybody remembers, it was the Thursday before the show. I think we only had I don't even know how many pieces were posted to exhibitor booths at that time. But I don't feel like we were at 2,000 pieces yet. So I was getting nervous. I was starting to think we weren't even going to hit our 6,000 pieces for sale over the weekend mark. And, I might as well just refresh this to see where we're at right now. We're at 3,150 pieces of art in in exhibitor booths right now, 260 exhibitors. So I know there's going to be a lot of people posting artwork and starting exhibitor booths in the next 24 hours. So I think what we're going to end up seeing, is easily we should reach our 6,000 count. And I'm very confident we will be well over 300 exhibitors by the time the show opens on Saturday. Will I have $1 t-shirts available? No. I will not have any t-shirts available in my booth this time around. But yeah, where else are you going to get 300 exhibitors to show up and bring merchandise for sale? No place but Comic Art Live. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I think that the cool thing is too, there's a lot of first-time exhibitors this time around. I believe we've gotten at least 30 new exhibitors, which seems, at least for me, a lot more than we've had, say in November or even the May before that. A lot of times it's repeat, sellers. So having that many new sellers means we're going to have a lot of new art. Of course, I still see a few familiar pieces, but Albert's got a lot of really nice stuff to look at. I don't know, a lot of it's very high-end stuff. We've got a few new artists this time around that we haven't had in the show before. Let's see. Steve says 6,000 pieces. Well, you can only put 48 up there. That's the thing. But when you get over 300 people posting, 50 pieces, you can get a lot of artwork posted over the weekend. And yeah. Is there any Fusay art? No, there is not, Marcus. I haven't looked, but the little browsing that I have been able to do in the last few days, I haven't seen any. I'll say it. I went and I took a look at Sky Leader's booth, and he did not have any 8-ball artwork this time around, at least yet. Why don't you encourage exhibitors to post booth previews? Doug must be on the Comic Art L mailing list. I don't have anything against exhibitors posting booth previews, but I do have an issue with exhibitors taking screenshots of their booth and putting it into their CAF gallery as if it's art. They're basically creating a classified ad where they're supposed to be posting art, and CAF isn't for that. We don't allow any art sellers to do that. So, and we always have to remove artwork when, when a seller comes in and tries to say, I've got a 30% off sale in my, over at buycomicartfromme.com. And they just make a big graphic as if their CAF gallery's Facebook or something. And we don't allow that. So we've actually had more than one, because I've had, the gentleman who was emailing on the Comic Art L about it, good friend of mine. It just so happened that he wanted to know why we did that. So at any rate, that's all. CAF is not meant to be a billboard for people in their CAF gallery. There's a forum for posting information about art for sale. You can do it there. You can post it all over Facebook you want, because they can't stop you from doing it there. I just think it's really not fair to the other exhibitors who are waiting for, who are doing kind of what we're asking you to do. Show everything off when the hall opens. It's as bad as, how many dealers do an art drop right before a con or a big heritage auction? Everybody's just trying to outmaneuver the other seller. And while I can't stop you from doing that on Facebook, I'm not going to allow you to do it on CAF. It's just not right. So that's all. It's I have nothing against people doing their own previews in their own way, however they can do it, but they're not going to do it on CAF. So, because then what's the point? They have their CAF classifieds. I think even that particular seller said, why would they be mad? I just posted everything that was in my classifieds in my booth. Well, so we've already seen it all. So you don't even need to do that. So, at any rate, that's the reasoning behind that. And trust me, there's people who follow the rules, and, the mods see it. There are other sellers who I've had to take stuff down before. Whenever they see it, they make sure to point it out, because they want everybody playing by the same rules. But see, that's the whole point, Seamus. The reason we don't allow you to move your stuff from your CAF gallery is we already linked to your CAF classifieds from your exhibitor booth. So if you're just bringing everything from your CAF classifieds into your exhibitor booth, you're just basically kind of, recycling everything you already have. And the goal of Comic Art Live was always, at least to try to get people to bring new things. So while we let you take stuff out of your exhibitor booth and move it back to your CAF gallery after the show, we don't want to make it easy for you to take stuff that's in your CAF gallery and move it into your exhibitor booth. Because again, those things are for sale 24/7 on CAF in the 6 months leading up to every show. So that's why. Bill, my voice sounds real low on the Instagram stream. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about Instagram. I can pull the microphone closer, but if it sounds fine on YouTube, then I'll just assume it's an Instagram thing. But I don't know. I guess maybe I'll have to go back and watch an Instagram feed and see how it ends up looking. But this is only the second time that we've done a stream to Instagram. Let's see. Seamus says, I look at Cal sort of like the Purge movies. 2 weekends a year you get to. Oh, okay. That's right. That is very true. But again, we're not going to make it. Yes. So what does Scott say? In e-commerce, we call it a wallet grab, or in OA, I like claim jumpers. Yes. That is one way to look at it. Sidar will not have a booth. At any rate, that's all. We don't want to. We prefer to see people. Honestly, I'd rather see 3,000 pieces for sale that are all new to market, brought from sellers rather than 6,000, then like 4,000 to 5,000 of the 6,000 pieces that, just recycled and brought back to Cal every year. It just wouldn't. It's not good. It's not good for the health of the show. If attendees keep coming in and seeing the same old, why are they going to come back? There's no point in that. I mean, so we have to work as a community to make sure that we try to do what the goals are. And I state that in every email that goes out to exhibitors. And it's kind of the mantra that we present, at the beginning of exhibitor booth setup, just saying, bring stuff new to market. Or if you're going to bring in stuff that isn't, price it to sell. If you can't, if you can't do those, one of those two things, it's really not helping the overall health of the show to keep bringing people back. And and that's something we want to do. We want the show to continue to be successful and interesting and good for people, beneficial on both sides of the table, right? We want everybody selling art. We want everybody buying art. That's not going to happen if they're always seeing the same stuff that's in your CAF classifieds. Anyway, so there you go. I'm missing a lot in the chat. I think there's only 2. Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, with Instagram it's weird because a lot of people join and then I think they end up coming back over here, which is the way it's really meant to be. I don't think people on Instagram, if they comment, the comments don't show up in the stream here for me, so I can't even really kind of communicate with them. But anyways, so that's really the approach to that. Tim says, I haven't had time to scan the stuff I was going to post. Well, you still have a little over 24 hours, Tim, but at this moment, you basically got 36 hours because you got until 10 a.m. on Saturday to add any artwork to your Saturday drop. Then you got until 10 a.m. on Sunday to post anything to your Sunday drop. So you got time. You definitely do. Dan should take commissions. Yes, he should. He's great at caricatures. We know that. But speaking of announcements and things that people are bringing, I only got 2 people. Every time I tell exhibitors, hey, I wouldn't mind, previewing or at least telling people what you're doing. I only got 2 emails from people this time around prior to the show, letting them to give you some idea of what they're bringing. So Steve O's Collectibles, a OAX alum now, said he's bringing, what is he bringing? Alan Weiss, 1977 Supergirl art, Flash, Atom art, Jose Delbo, Wallywood, Wonder Woman art, Brent Anderson, Batman splash, Wayne Boring Superman art, John Romita Sr., Amazing Spider-Man cover prelim, some Dick Giordano, Johnny Thunder, some unused Who art, and plenty more. And then artist Terry Schumacher, who is also, or Shoemaker, probably, who is participating in the mystery sketch. He's chose to do 1 this time to figure, just to give it a try. So he got a good one. And Terry said that he'll be taking commissions over the weekend. So anybody interested in getting a commission from Terry, hit him up at his Artist Alley table. Terry's been using the site for like the last year to kind of post some art and get some sales. He's going to be bringing artwork from X Factor Annual 3, published in 1988. 36 years old, ladies and gentlemen, from X Factor Annual 3. And I did go look in his booth. I think he's got like 7 or 8 pages from X Factor Annual 3. He's going to have some pages from Invincible Iron Man 1999 Annual. And then he's going to be bringing a bunch of other illustrations, prelims, and sketch cards. So check out Terry's booth. So there you go. I got 2 announcements. That's it. What are you going to do? But I know that there will be plenty more stuff getting posted because, we'll do a daily show tab that will give everybody the kind of rundown on all the announcements that go out. Is anyone going to have any nice Galactus art? Says #1 Marvel fan. I don't know. There might be. I'd search on it right now, but I don't want to give anybody a tease. Peter Rowe asks, is there any war art? I have seen some war art, Peter. So yes, that you will see that. Jason says he'd like to look at his booth. I'm sure you would, but I can't do it. I just told people we can't tease anything in their CAF galleries. I'm not going to do it live on the stream. Cesar Alvarez says my 94 keyword searches are ready to go. And of course, everybody knows if you're a premium member and you can set up your CAF keywords, we are going to once again push out a CAF Comic Art Live alert right around 10:30 each day. That alert will match all your CAF keywords and will give you a good sense of where you want to go when the hall's open. So that's going to be the just one tease. Carlos says, I can't show anything. See, look, there's the top of some artwork right there. I don't know. That looks like I saw that's a Libra Mayo on the right. I can tell that, but you guys could because it's so small on your screens, I'm sure. But yeah, so we're not going to show it. But at any rate, let's see. Do you have to be? Tito Miranda says what? Do you have to be in the industry to apply for an artist table at OAX? Yeah, pretty much, Tito. OAX is a very curated show, and even last year we probably had about 250 or 300 artists who were on the list that we wanted to invite, and we only have 60 tables as it is. So until we maybe evolve into a bigger show where we might have tables for sale, I don't see us being, and I don't see us being in that kind of a position for a few years. Until that happens, yeah, we're pretty much a curated show, kind of based on the list of artists that we kind of set up in advance that we go and talk to, and but we get a lot of inquiries, and we take notes of people who are interested. But yeah, while we're in the current venue that we're at and at the level that we're planning, we won't be able to accommodate selling tables or anything like that. What do we got here? Tim says, if you do more announcements tomorrow night, you'll see. Yeah, well, you can, Tim. The thing is, if you do, there will be a show tab that goes out. I was going to say, I do have an email queued up to go out to all exhibitors tomorrow morning already. I'm still encouraging people to, give me their announcements, because when I think what time do we blow that out? I think right around, it's sometime in the morning on Saturday, we send out an email that has all that kind of PR information, any of the announcements from the booth owners, and also a reminder of any of the panels that are going on each day. We're still fleshing out the panels too, by the way. I'll scroll past all that art. Right now we have some gaps that I think are all going to get filled by the time we hit Saturday and then Sunday. We always do that kickoff show where I talk about where we're at after the first 2.5 hours of the show. We're going to have Declan Shelby on at 2:00. Yeah, that's right. I thought it was 3, but it is actually 2. Declan's going to be there with his new art rep agency, Kinetic, and we will have some art for sale from Declan. And I don't know. I think they're gonna have 8 to 10 pieces, and a lot of it's X-Men related stuff. I got a preview of that, but Thundercats? No, I don't think there's going to be any Thundercats. But I do see some Wolverine. It looks like I see some Rogue. I'm just looking at I got a Deadpool cover. So plenty of stuff. Conan, looks like a Cable cover. So yeah, there'll be some good stuff. And Joelle Jones, I just got her artwork the other day and finally opened it. I'm glad I opened it before the show started, because she taped this thing up incredibly. So we're gonna have 6 pieces of art available from Joelle, and I did show these the other day, but here is a Han Solo cover, a nice Millennium Falcon on there, and Chewie, right? Not too bad. Then this was the title of this one says Lady Cop Danger Street cover. It's all pencils. I think it was digitally painted and inked. So this is the originals to that. Then the Catwoman cover. This is the cover to Catwoman number 2. This will be at 5:00 on Saturday, by the way. So these will be available at that time. This was a Batman cover, right? Yeah. Of course, you got a nice Wonder Woman there. Actually, why don't I switch it around? Here, I'll go full screen with me. I'm tiny on the screen trying to show off artwork, right? There, look at that. Much better. How's that? Very nice. And then Poe Dameron cover. And what else? What was this thing called? Oh, Female Furies. Number 8. Right there. So there you have it. You can actually see these two. Look at that. Right there. And now you can see this one better. There you go. So yeah, we've got those two panels where we'll have art for sale, and then we also have Next Comic Art at 9:00 on Saturday. We'll have them on for our usual 9 p.m. hangout. I don't know, it's not a theme show. They haven't shown me any of the art other than what's previewed on the slide that we have for the graphic on that. But it is it'll be a lot of fun. We always like to hang out with them at 9:00. Is Joelle taking commissions? Carlos Mo wants to know. She is not, but and I've actually never spoken to her, so it's going to be it'll be fun for me. First time chatting with her, and and I know she used to be repped elsewhere, and I think she's kind of in between things right now. So I'm glad that everything just kind of worked out right for her to come in and hang out and sell some art with us. Let's see. Alberto's trying to say that Tulio told him that he won the DeMeo sketch and he wants to get upgraded. Don't you worry, Alberto. You have a chance. In fact, you probably have Alberto has the most chances of anybody because he has purchased more mystery sketches than anyone. But I will say that even though I bought my 5, if I get pulled, I will not accept any of the prizes. We will spin the wheel again, since I think people who are employed by the company can't win these things. Is the Declan a 3-hour sales show? No, it's not. But the thing is, I'm trying to fill the 3 and the 4 o'clock right now, Larry. Actually, I've been talking with different people, and we just had we fumbled the ball. Let's just put it that way. But I'm still waiting to hear back from a couple people, because this weekend Chiaroscuro is doing a benefit auction because of the flooding that has happened around there, and it's affected a lot of artists and friends of theirs. Chiaroscuro, who's always supported Comic Art Live, won't be having a booth this time around because they're really focused on this art auction that they've helped pull together. A lot of really great art. So I've invited them to, and Rafael Grampa, Albuquerque, a few others to do a panel with me on hopefully at 3 or 4 o'clock on Saturday, where we can talk a bit about the art auction, and how they pulled it all together. And if I've got the information right, the auction starts on Saturday and ends Sunday evening. So so I plan on having them be a part of it. Fingers crossed that we can get some of those artists to tune in and talk about it. Gabe wants to know, how many mystery sketches have we sold? I don't have an accurate count at the moment, Gabe. It's over 200. So I think when I last looked, it was over 210. But we still have another 24 hours to go on the sale. So it's what happens to the piece? CAF will buy. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what the plan is. Because we, as everybody knows, I've given some lists out to pretty much all the artists, because to get them started. We're going to give them their final list tomorrow, and then if anything straggles in, we've got I can give those out too. But exactly, if the DeMeo piece is won by someone who's already started the piece, we're going to just pay for it and buy it. For CAF, use it as a giveaway at some point or whatnot, or whatever we want to do. So, so there you have it. Kazra answered it in the chat, I see. Well, you don't get a choice, I don't think. It works, but well, maybe you can, because we'd probably be happy to have one or the other. Yeah, if that's going to be your position, you can turn it down, because you won't know who. The problem is, Seamus, we're not going to tell you who you were going to get. So it's either you take it or you don't. It's not really a choice, because if you don't take the DeMeo, it's a mystery. So if you'd rather say, I'd rather have the mystery than the DeMeo, fine. Then we'll work that out, or we'll give it to somebody else. Yes. Why would you not give them both? Well, because you paid for the 200 one, and you're getting upgraded. So that's how that one goes. At any rate. So where are we at? When is the Seamus CAF interview? I don't know. He did a what did he do? He did a CAF Cribs, right? I think we got to see that. At Snorkel Discord is causing problems again. Anyway, so there you are. Panels, we're still fleshing them out. Sunday's more filled up than Saturday. Well, they're about the same, but as far as like content wise, but art sales wise, Saturday is going to be the day when we really fill that one. With art sales. The other, you can see Paulo Rivera will be doing art sales on Sunday, as always, at 1 o'clock. Anthony's got his 12 o'clock show like he always does. And then I'll have Mark Wade on. We'll be talking about his comic book U stuff that he does with Howard Chaykin. Dan Parsons, of course, we'll be chatting with him at 3. And I know that I know we've got a Sunday 6 p.m. show blocked out. Though I don't want to announce what that is just yet. And the Saturday 6 o'clock one is going to be this history of Marvel sketch card art. There'll be several guests on there with that one, and that'll be an interesting one as well. I think Kazra's going to be running that one, but everybody wants to be interviewed by Mannix. Why? I don't know. I don't think you never know. I guess you could request that, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. I don't know how we can do that, Alberto. Apparently he bought a lot of stuff. He bought a whole lot of stuff in the last couple days. A couple weeks. Ever since Comic Art Con, he's had a surplus of things bought. He bought all that Frank Thorne art again. So I don't know what he's going to offer on Sunday, but he'll have more art for sale. I think he's dropping like 25 pieces somewhere thereabouts. So I think I've probably hit everything, but for those of you exhibiting, always just remember the Saturday art drop. You have to have all of your art posted to your exhibitor booth for the Saturday art drop by 10 a.m. So Eastern. If you don't get it in there by Saturday, then you'd have to go ahead and post it to your Sunday art drop. That's the way it is. Yeah. Let's see here. So next. I'm trying to make sure I haven't missed anything here. I think I've got everything. But you know what? Well, mystery sketch stuff, we could just talk about that for a second, though. But, we will take mystery sketches up until probably around noon on Saturday, because the funny thing there is when we do the kickoff event tomorrow evening, we always get so many people watching the show, and they're like, crap, I missed out on buying one, And so, and they see all the artists doing nice work, and so people want to get one. So I'll probably end up leaving the form out there for people all the way through about noon on Saturday, but certainly not anytime past that. But to get into the giveaways and things, you have to have your purchase made before 9 p.m. on Friday, so tomorrow night, because I'm going to build a list right before the show starts of everybody who has ordered one, and they will get their chance on the wheel. So Jiggy's already ready. He's excited. He's going to be on with me at 9 o'clock tomorrow. If 20 people order mystery sketches tonight, I'll wear the mask. I don't see it. Nobody's ordered a mystery sketch since I've been streaming. I think we've had about 8 or 9 orders today, though. That's so it's been fun watching them come in. But yeah, anyway, so yes, Jiggy will be on with me tomorrow, and we'll always probably have at least 8 artists hanging out with us at the same time. Jason Williams says he's getting 3. He's going to get 3 this time, or he's gotten 3 this time. I don't remember. But anyway, let's see. Well, we didn't say that, Seamus, but that's okay. But anyway, so that's where we're at right now. I'm just looking down the list. I feel like I've hit everything, but always the main thing is if you're a premium member, don't forget 11 a.m. tomorrow or on Saturday is when you get into the hall. Don't wait until 11:30, or you don't think you don't stop by at 1 because you'll have missed out on your 2 hours of preview where you and you alone with the other 1,000 or 1,200, I don't know what the number is, premium members will be going in there and purchasing stuff before you even get the chance to buy it. So that is it. So so I see Chris Nork is in the green room. I don't want to leave him sitting there, even he's looking like he's busy, not busy. Hey Chris, how's it going, man?
Good, you?
It's going all right. Just lots of things going on, and I didn't really write down my agenda really well here, but it's all happening, one way or another. The weekend's coming up, right? So we can't avoid it. It's like a steam train. I rebooted the
inexorable march of time.
yeah, I rebooted both boxes this morning, the the SQL server and the front end web server. So I'm like, I can do no more. At this point, it's like you're giving it the best fresh start that you can, and then we just sit back and watch it happen.
Lockdown.
Yes, exactly. And I could tell everybody too that I'm just going to pull up the schedule. Might as well just do that because one of the things that if you recall, we've always been the next weekend, right? We always were the weekend before Memorial Day weekend. We moved it because Como moved to the weekend of the 17th and 18th, or the 18th and the 19th. So I was trying to do solid to for Steve to get out of his way, and I even though he told me that that we could do things on the same weekend because he didn't feel we'd have any kind of conflict. I felt there would be, and I just didn't think that would be fair to Como. However, I didn't think about Mother's Day, so it's not I have a feeling that's probably why they moved off that weekend. But either way, it doesn't matter. Next year, I can tell you that we've already written down the dates. You can see it right there. May 17th and 18th of 2025 will be the weekend that we have the show, and if that happens to be the same weekend as Como, oh well, there's nothing we can do about it. It's going to be the way it is, and I feel completely confident that Comic Art Live won't suffer from being on the same weekend as Como. I just wish I would have thought of that when I made the change for Steve, which he didn't ask for. But yeah, next year will be the weekend that we've always been, and we'll see where that goes. But already went over all of the panels in there that are up front. Next Wednesday we'll have a art drop with Mr. Berkey, and he'll be taking a few offers. We got the Mannix Art fundraiser for Zyla on Saturday at 9 p.m. There's 16 sketch cards that we showed off a few weeks ago. So I think there was like 7 Batmans, 5 Wolverines, and then an assortment of Marvel characters as well. So we'll be auctioning those off individually. So we can, I think we'll raise the most money that way. We had debated whether or not to just do the whole set as one, but I think letting people kind of pick and choose which ones are their favorites, and then letting them bid on those will raise the most money for Zyla, and that's the goal. Then I'll have Dr. Balls on May 21st. Jamal Eigel will be doing an art sale with me on the 1st of June. I got to see some of Jamal's artwork that he's bringing. He's got some G.I. Joe covers and a few other cool pieces. I haven't seen it all. He just kind of sent me like 5 or 6 pieces to give me an idea what he was thinking about. We I didn't put the amateur match in there. The last Wednesday in May, we've got Ben Brezel and Dave Kopecki on as an amateur match. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we follow that up with Matt DiTullio and Carl Choi on the first Wednesday in June. So yeah, that's going to be a couple 2 ADD matches back to back, and then Jordan he's got it tough because he used up all his vacation days, and apparently there's a Hawaiian vacation day on June 11th. So Jordan said, "Can I do an ADD match that night?" And I said, "No, sure." Well, I just have to figure out who he's going to go up against. So I'll have that worked out probably in the next week or two, but we will be doing an amateur match on a Tuesday in June to accommodate Jordan. Then I'll have Bart Sears on. I've got that out of order. Kazra and I will be at Heroes Con. There is no Heroes Con kickoff party, everybody. So, if you're planning on going there early on Thursday, don't, unless you want to. But
go to Charlotte Beer Garden instead. Just get hammered.
Okay. Is that near the Westin?
It's easy walking distance from the Westin.
All right, the Charlotte Beer Garden. That's where you go. And then I've got a Heritage Signature preview and a Comic Connect preview back to back on the 17th and the 18th. And then Fred Hembeck will be back on Saturday, June 22nd for a 2 p.m. art sale. So there you have it. It's busy stuff. At least for once, I've got a lot of things on the schedule, which is nice. Man. So I'm out of breath already, man. All I'm doing is talking. Carl Choi will be at Heroes. That's good. Who else had anything to say? Rom says the beer garden sounds good to him. Exactly. Kazra wants to know. Are you going to Heroes, Chris?
Nope, I'm not. it coincides with something important at work this year that I can't get away from. So
Well, that's all right. I think a lot of people, well, I don't know, a fair number of people are still going to Heroes, but there are several collectors who have been there in the past who aren't going this year. Dave Kopecki says he's going for the first time. That's that's good. Rick Welch says the Dr. Balls show will be nuts.
I see what you did there.
Right. He might be right.
Mhm.
Let's see. Alberto says Nick volunteers to go against Jordan. Did I miss that? I wasn't really looking.
He did.
he
Yeah,
did.
he said he wants to win one.
Okay. I will. All right, Nick, that's cool. You saw the date, right? I mean, I don't have it in front of me right now. Here, I can highlight it again. When was that? Tuesday, the 11th of June. All right. So if you're good for that night, then we'll go for that, Nick. That's cool. Makes it easy. Then I don't have to go out and start soliciting. I like that. Let's see here. Did I miss anything else? There's a lot going on in the chats. All right. So bring good stuff, Nick. Jason, why don't you send a list to Nick in advance of him being on the show of what stuff you want him to bring, so Nick knows what the good stuff is.
There you go.
Oh boy. And Tim says if he has a good sale this weekend, he'll go to Europe. So, all right. Man, so what else? I'm trying to think if I missed anything here, man. I don't think I have. I think I've got everything. All right. And I did. All right. So call me a liar. We did get a mystery sketch order by someone who I know is in the chat. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. And they know it.
They're trying to hit 20. They want the mask, Bill.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Nobody knew who you were until you put the mask on.
Oh man. Let's keep this thing rolling. So I didn't see anything in there. I guess Kaz resolved whatever the DeMayo stuff was. I'm cool with whatever Kazra comes up with, since the potluck idea was his idea to begin with. But yes, it's going to be interesting putting that many names on a wheel and spinning it tomorrow night to see who gets on. You got one, right?
Yep.
You've got one entry, so you got one in there. I think there's a lot of people who were first timers that picked up one. So I think there'll be. I mean, out of the 200 plus that'll be on it, it's got to be at least 170 names. So, and everybody who bought, if you bought more than one, your name's on there as many times as you bought a sketch. So that's
there you go.
That's the rule. Alberto has a lot of chances.
Alberto's gonna get it
to get something. He's got 4 chances to get something. All right. So all right. Well, this could be a pretty easy show tonight, which wouldn't be a bad thing. All right. Let's do it. Heritage, right? I mean, I guess I got to show that first. So let me cue that stuff up. Heritage had some good stuff this week. I was happy.
Man, last week that vigilante title page that you showed
How
went
did it
for
do?
real money.
Did it?
I bowed out at like $800, and I think it went for over $1,200.
Dang. Well, it was nice. As a
It was
title
cool.
page.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, it was very nice. Otherwise, I wouldn't have wanted it. But Sikowski, and Giordano, $1,200.
Yeah. That's not too bad. But hey, it was a good example, and I did get a $1,200. Whoa. Okay. Yes.
That's what I thought. I was like, no way it'll go over $1,000.
Derek sent me a little video so I could learn a bit about vigilante as well. So I got
nice.
Me,
Good job,
I
Prof.
learned a little bit about DC, which was nice.
Greg Saunders, that's my boy.
Let's see here. All right, let me get into this. Let me share this screen. Where are you? Gosh, this, get that. Man, I am a little bit slow tonight. I haven't had Zevia in a couple of days. I've decided I might stop the Zevia and just see if it either helps pick me up or I don't know. I'm beginning to think Zevia might be working against me in some way. So this is a Fantastic Four versus X-Men page by John Bogna. Yes, thank you. I won't even do it. Terry Austin inked it. Nice Wolverine on this one. I thought people would enjoy seeing that, right? Wolverine slicing and dicing. And, you don't see too many pages from FF versus X-Men pop up on the market. I thought this was a good one.
This. Yeah.
Yeah. It does look awesome. Yeah, thank you. Am I in recovery? I don't know. Maybe ever since that cold, everything's kind of been a mess. Things don't taste right again, and I did not have COVID, but it's just been odd. So I'm just kind of messing around with my diet, trying to figure out exactly where I want to be now that I'm feeling better. So yeah, and everybody thought I had a lot of energy at the start of the show, and that was no Zevia. So we'll see how things go. But you know what?
You still seem peppy.
I do. I know. I feel pretty good. But Chris, it was your birthday on the 5th. Did you have a good time?
It was. Yeah, I had a great time. Thank you for asking. Yeah, we went out and partied with Eric Winger and his wife, and talked a little comic art. My mom is framing my Simone for me for my birthday, so that's cool. It's at the framer right now. I sent you a photo.
Yes. It's going to look fabulous. I'm glad you incorporated the blue highlight in there.
Didn't that look cool? Yeah, that was actually my mom's idea. She might have an artistic streak in her yet.
That's very nice. Antoine says, "Am I on Centrum Silvers?" No. What does Maureen have me take? She actually gives me Prevagen. It says it improves your memory. I think it works. I don't know.
Brain sharp, yeah.
Yeah. So one a day, right? I mean, those might be working. I don't think it makes you peppy, but it helps you not to forget things, which is.
I think there's methamphetamine in the tap water down there, isn't there?
You know what? Around here in Central Florida, yeah, I'd be surprised if there wasn't. I mean, there's people cooking 2 miles from me. I'm sure. I can smell it when the wind blows out of the north, out of the woods. Yes, exactly. Yeah, no, I actually have not had a Coke in a month. So I can say that with absolute certainty. I've tried to stay away from Coca-Cola. Anyway, I'm not going to read those anymore. Let's move on from this wonderful piece of art to an even more interesting piece of art. This George Perez, Jack Abel, Deadly Hands of Kung Fu DPS. This thing is freaking amazing.
Wow.
Look at that. Is that not
White
beautiful?
Tiger versus Prowler.
I mean, look at this thing. I was just kind of surprised. I mean, I don't know. And it's funny because, some of the older Perez stuff doesn't it's not phenomenal, right? I mean, from this era. And maybe Abel's inks. I don't know why, but this piece is flat out amazing.
Cool.
I love it. I mean, I love that that center panel is as dark as it is, and I love the way that just kind of fit the other panels around it. There's just a lot to like on this thing.
Pretty ballsy composition too for a DPS.
Agreed. I mean, look at all the detail he's packing into those, like in these first 3 panels, right? With the buildings and this, is that fire escape? Can't tell what he's climbing up there, but either way, yeah, this thing is very, very nice. Nick Perucci says awesome. He knows good art when he sees it. What do we got next? So next up, Jose Ortiz. This is I don't know why their thing runs so slow anymore when it's loading these, but this is from a Vampirella book, but it's a Panther story in it. Jose Ortiz. I just really like, I really like the first panel, but pretty much every panel here is just really nice. There's a bit of tanning and some tape on this on the art, but I don't mind it. It's just a really nice piece, and that first panel gets me. Good storytelling. Slipping on her boots.
Yeah.
Then Sal Buscema. I don't even want to click on these. It takes so long to load. But I think I do have another classic 6-panel layout and a later pick, or maybe I removed it. But I like this one because it's it's the exact opposite. Rather than 3 rows of 2, you've got 2 rows of 3, perfectly the same size panels, and it works for me. I mean, in its own weird way. It's a cap page from 157, but I like it, and it's all Falcon, so not too bad.
Yeah.
Marcus says that Panther was putting on her boots just like Superman. Superman. Yeah, indeed. Anyway, so we got that Marshall Rogers piece from Eclipse magazine. I didn't even bother to read what it was from. It's Marshall Rogers. I mean, look at all the experimentation he's doing with with the shadows in there, man.
Yeah.
All over the place, whether it's, on the couch here, on the floor, on the figure.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, wow. I mean, I don't really, so I have no idea what this is from. But
every panel almost looks like it could be from a different story, from a different book.
Okay, so he overdid it.
A little bit.
We can all agree that he overdid it. He only needed a few of these panels done like that. But it's still interesting to see. When is it from? 82. So, yeah. Eclipse magazine. I remember buying a couple of those when they came out, like the first 2 or 3 issues. Rogers looks like Proto-Gulacy. Yeah, well, speaking of Gulacy, that's the next one.
Oh,
Master
segue,
Kung Fu.
Antoine.
Yeah, I don't know. Antoine's reading my mind, or he's reading the tabs. I don't know. But it doesn't. Gulacy can just do anything, and I'll love it. I mean, but I just looking at like the figure here in the first panel. He's he's like even leaving some of the outline out. Just from it's probably the way the character's lit. I mean, I have no idea how this thing was colored, but man, I've always enjoyed his style. I mean, look at the scuba divers here in the last bit with the rocky cliff behind them.
What's that from?
This is Master of Kung Fu 29 from 75. I mean, this panel just fantastic with the ship captain or whatever the heck this guy is. Standing in front of a pile of God knows what are in those bags. And all as pure white as driven snow. Okay, well, we were talking about Coca-Cola earlier, and now we get a lot of Coca in this one. Yes. Anyway, nice Gulacy there. And then Sergio. I always, I do pick a lot of this Sergio stuff, and then I ignore a lot of Sergio stuff. I thought this piece was fantastic. From beginning to end, the lettering, the way the word balloons are handled, just even the detail on the backgrounds. This stairway in the cave. There is just so much good stuff going on in here.
It's a ton of content.
I mean, look at the panel here with the cauldron, right? I mean, gosh, there is just a lot of just amazing stuff going on in this piece. So I kept this tab open. I usually open like 20 tabs, and then this one I kept going back to. I'm like, I can't let it go. It's too damn good. So there you have it.
That's a great
one. It is. And then this one is an unpublished cover to Shuriken, which I do not know anything about. Neil Vokes and Rich Rankin Rankin is he inked Willingham a bunch, but I just thought this one was really interesting, even though it's kind of like got the crossword puzzle lighting here on the building. I liked it. What year is this from? 89.
Ninjas.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is all about. You got heavy zipatone on it, and I don't know what the weird lighting shape on here. I guess that's it's like it's like the shirt.
That's the Shuriken logo. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. And Dino says that last piece was groovy. Yes, it was. Bob Powell. Speaking of, I know Peter was asking about war pages during Comic Art Live. This is a war page from something called Warfront, 1951. I just really, I don't know. Honestly, I just love the scenery. Outside of the fact, these guys both seem to step on a landmine here in the second to last panel. I just thought this was a really nice page, especially for something done in 91, right? Oh, and I guess it wasn't a landmine. Somebody dropped a grenade. So nobody lost their legs. One guy's blind, and the other one, his legs are numb. So,
good luck with that.
Yeah, you're not going far. But yes. What's next here? Last one. Juan Jimenez, a Meta Barons. I mean, I think we both love Meta Barons stuff, right? And it always ends high, all the published stuff, right? So here's a prelim, and I was just like, well, shoot, this is an opportunity, to potentially own something from Meta Barons that is not going to break the bank, and at least it's there. You got the Mobius feel and the layout, and this is, even by itself, because who knows what he did in the finished piece, right? It was probably heavily inked or potentially painted. I kind of like seeing it like this as a prelim. You get to see his thought in the line work here. So Gimenez, did I say Jimenez? Gimenez? I don't know how you pronounce his last name. Yes.
This looks like it's like a very elaborate layout, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So not too shabby. And there was a lot of other good stuff too. I passed up on. I was actually just trying to pick people that I don't always pick. That's why I picked like the Jose Ortiz Pantha piece.
Yeah.
Marshall Rogers I don't pick too often. But anyway. All right. And Antoine says Metabaron is one of his all-time favorite series. We do like to hear that. Jimenez. So I was right. I was right the first time. Jimenez. Okay. Peter says the Powell page was awful. I'm sorry. You're right. Both guys should have probably died standing that close to a grenade. It was wishful thinking for 1951. All right. So we got the what do we got? We got the EXP preview next, and I didn't get a chance to see this. So this is my first time seeing this. I know that Nick is having his birthday. I don't know if it's tomorrow or if it's this weekend. But Nick's birthday is coming up, so he's having some kind of birthday celebration because I did see the graphic for his show. So we get to see Nick have his birthday and sell some artwork. So I think we'll be learning a little bit about that in the EXP preview right now.
Everybody, this Friday, May the 10th, we're going to prepare for my birthday. My birthday is Tuesday the 14th. We're also going to talk about Cath Art Live for this weekend. But 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on the Original Art Experience. Hit that thumbs up and let me talk about what we're going to have. So we're going to have a lot of cool art. What I should throw in real quick is that some of the art will be at $55, some of it 55% off, some of it at $550 off for $55 off. Who knows? We've got this awesome Art Nichols commission from 30 years ago. Are you kidding me? We got this Mike DiCarlo Aquaman, which is really cool. We're going to have 2 Starlin Savage Hulk pages. Freaking awesome. Then we've got this unbelievably dynamic Detective Comics 666, where Azrael, Jean Paul, has taken over Batman. And the thing that's really cool about this is it goes, Commissioner, I've been expecting you. You've been very active the last few nights. My detectives have been cleaning up after you. That's what I'm here about. What you have learned from Bane's stooges. Have they talked? Bullock and Hitch have been working them for close to 24 hours. They're getting nowhere. I don't think they're going to hand Bane up. Never heard of such loyalty in hoods. Where are you holding them? The city detention center over on Girard, but not for long. The feds are crying for a shot at them, and the governor wants them separated and placed in maximum lookup in a hurry. Not that I blame him, my lord. Something wrong, Commissioner. You're still here. So, usually I turn around and you're gone. I wasn't certain you were finished talking. That never stopped you before. I'll be going then. How do you plan on finding Bane? I'll keep that to myself for right now. The less you know, the better. Apparently. So anyway, that's how you know it's Jean Paul, how it's Azrael, because Bruce Wayne Batman would have disappeared in the middle of a sentence. Anyway, be like Penny, like when somebody asked for a ride in The Big Bang Theory. Amy's telling me to shut up and move on. All right, Detective 1050, page 20 with the Psycho Pirate. Check it out. A little bit of Capullo action here. Got a Dark Crisis cover. What am I doing putting up a cover that has Crisis related to it? Got 2 J. Lee Red Sonja covers. Who knows? Maybe this freshman will be at $55. You never know. Maybe Captain Britain will have a 55 theme to it. You never know. Also going to have Al Bigley Captain America. God, there's so much art. Commission cover art that Amy picked that's really cool will be on the air. Special pricing. I'm also going to show a few pieces on the air that I just got, like this Wolverine homage cover to the Frank Miller miniseries. Then when Spencer did the show a few weeks ago, he had these Bob Leighton covers, and God, I fell in love with them, and eventually I just pulled the trigger. Got this great Beauty and the Beast by Bill Sienkiewicz that I love. Got some more Starlin. Oh my God, all my stars and garters. So, as everybody, we took it to a vote. Should I bring in art that I've had on the air previously and do really great birthday pricing? Should I bring new art with some kind of discount? Everybody said do both. So this Friday is the birthday bash. We're going to have some fun. Amy's going to kill me no matter what, because even this video is running too long. So Friday, May 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, on the Original Art Experience. Hit that thumbs up, sharing is caring. Let everybody know. Remember, if we get to 3,000 subscribers by Friday, I'm doing 5 giveaways, and I'm also doing another giveaway just because Alberto asked me to, for hitting 60 likes on the show with Ruben he did on Sunday. Man, this is running long. It's like I'm making up for the last few weeks where they were all short videos. So, guys, look forward to seeing you Friday, and have a great one.
There you go. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. Lots of deals. 55%
Birthday bonanza.
Yeah, exactly. Nick should have a birthday every week. All right, so let's see here. We can get on with the CAF update. Yeah, I got my videos queued up for that. Let's see. So what are we talking about? This is the week of the 29th of April through the 5th of May. What do we got? We have dealers doing pretty good, decent. They did well. As everybody remembers, Felix had the Tradmore art drop. So dealers made $457,000 last week compared to like $234 the week before that. Let's see. Felix made up. He was number one, $123,000 from 57 sales. So I think Tradmore is a happy man. He gives. We know that allows Trad to work on one project for a very long time, so that's a good thing. I think that works in his favor. He gets to make the art he wants to make, so that's really good. So congrats to Felix and Trad for that sale. Anthony had 107 sales last week for $114,000, so he definitely won in the number of sales lot there. And what did Will came in third, 4 sales, $64,000. What did he sell? Mike 13 sales, $50,000. Albert 12 sales, $50,000. Panel Page had 6 sales and $37,000. Carl Choi says lots of flipping here. Yeah, everybody's got to turn that stuff over, man. So let's see what the top 6 sales were from OA dealers last week. Okay. So there you go. That's the 457 number that we got overall. This first piece is from Justice League of America, 69 from 1992. The second Doomsday, Dan Jurgens, Rick Burchett art, sold by Will, asking price $35,000. There he is. Whew. Yeah. Then this one, I know this thing has like changed hands like 4 or 5 times in the last 2 years.
We've talked about this 3 times, I think.
I know. It's $28,000 now. I'm gonna have to go back and see is this thing going up or down? But there you have it. Wally Wood, Astonishing Tales 2 Splash. Then we got a G.I. Joe cover by Mike Zeck. Looks freaking awesome. Sold by Glenn. $25,000 asking price on that one. Then we got this Neil Adams Phantom Stranger 16 cover. That is pretty nice. Sold by Albert. Asking price was $22,000 on this one. Then another cover. Sold by Will. $20,000 asking price on this one from Green Lantern 136. Dick Giordano, Joe Staten, Rich Buckler, all credited on that one. And last but not least, a Forever People number 10 title splash from 72. I feel like we've seen this one before too. This is Jack Kirby, Mike Royer, sold by Anthony. $15,000 asking price. So there you have it. And I wasn't watching the chat, so I don't know if I missed anything. Carl says the Green Lantern cover was solid and great price. It was very nice. I would agree with you on that one. Nick said the Phantom Stranger's been making the rounds as well. It's a beautiful cover. You can't go wrong with a vintage Neil Adams cover. Right. Auctions. Let's see. Auctions pretty mediocre. $275,000 between eBay and Heritage Weekly last week. We can't even count it against the week prior to that with 3.3 million because of the illustration auctions and stuff that were going on. eBay made up how much of it was eBay? 131, and Heritage was 144. So pretty even. Let's see the top 3 eBay and top 3 Heritage. So let's see. First up was this Jack Kirby Wally Wood Sky Masters Daily. was listed as $4,499. Went to a buyer at the asking price of $3,825. Then we've got a P. Craig Russell Elric Stormbringer page. This is from issue 7. It was 2 pages, 15 and 16. I don't know if I grabbed both images or not when I gave this to Ashton, but both pages went for $4,082. And then there's this Jim Valentino Shadowhawk unused cover to issue 2, went for $2,750. Then over to Heritage. I thought about picking this one last week, but it seemed too obvious. A Don Perlin Werewolf by Night 25 splash page. This one for $7,200. End page, no less. Very nice. Then we've got a Kevin Eastman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Just says illustration, so not even a cover prelim, anything like that. $6,600 for that. All pencil, pretty cool. And then finally, look at this thing. Kelly Freeze, The Bar Exam is the title on this one. Went for $600. So it's very, very interesting. But you can read it, I assume everybody checks out the Thursday mailing, right? When we send out, Colin puts the report together. Good. I hope people do, just to see what the top 10 stuff is. I always look it over because I never really get a chance to see anything like that on a regular basis. So I'm glad Colin keeps pulling those together for us.
Yeah.
All right.
Invariably, there's something on there that I was like, damn it, I missed that.
Yeah. I wonder if the Vigilante made the top 10. Probably not, but
probably not.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy I found that one last week. All right. So we're going to get into our picks right now. Boy, we're making good time here tonight.
Cooking.
All right. Here are top picks from you. So whose gallery in first? Let's see. This is somebody named Robert Saggers. Been a member of the site for 11 years. And let's see here. So what do we got? It's an Excalibur 2 cover from 2020. Is that Apocalypse?
We don't talk about I think Mahmoud Asrar enough. I'm a big fan. A lot of people that I talk to kind of compare him to Imminent. I see that certainly. I think he's got his own thing going on. There's a little Jeff Shaw back and forth here too. I think in some of the stylistic choices, but I am a sucker for a big team composition on the cover of a book. I've always liked team books, but I think more than anything, it's such a great rendition of Rogue. I think the jacket looks so cool. Her hair is great. It's such a great, her likeness is so good. And I don't know. I just I didn't read this book, to be honest, but it's a great looking team. And I think Mahmoud is a great artist, especially on these X titles.
All right, I'm trying to get this thing larger since it's,
there was a few this week that are not premium. Sorry.
That's all right. That's why I want to get the screen size a little better so we can see it just a bit better. There we go. No, it's a great piece. And we don't talk about Mahmoud too much. But congrats to Robert for that pickup. Then we have this beautiful painted piece by Riccardo Federici. And it is in, I think it's just M, wasn't it? Yeah, M. Mm-hmm. Is their name. They've been a member of the site for 20 years. Thank you, M. Wow. And premium member. Look at this beauty. Whoa, okay, that's way too big. All right,
it's really big.
Here, I'll do this. There we go. That's better.
I absolutely loved how distinct Vader is in this composition. How he looks absolutely, floored after crashing his TIE fighter. And I think what maybe intrigued me the most about this is, to be totally honest, it never occurred to me so, Han shoots him at the end of A New Hope. He goes flinging off, into space. It never dawned on me well, obviously he crashed, right? So this is the aftermath. And I just thought what a cool thing to depict, and tell a story about, and to do it so effectively. The wreckage of the TIE fighter looks like the tech is so good here. And like I said, Vader is such a powerful, like imposing figure, and to see him pretty much laid low here, I think is a really effective, like, oh my God, type of image.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I didn't see this when it got posted, so I'm glad you picked it. Like I've told you that numerous times, but this is a beauty. I really like this piece a lot.
Yeah,
and it's very well executed.
and having him framed up by the wreckage and stuff is really cool. Like a clever choice.
Yeah, very nice. So it must not have been a scan, right? I mean, they must have just picked this up from wherever it was used. I didn't see what's it say down there. Oh, it was used in a some kind of an art competition. Interesting. Well, either way, it's very nice. Next up, Steve Lawrence. But Steve, everything's a banger, in Steve's calf gallery.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a beautiful piece when it comes in. You get this Buckler Guardians of the Galaxy cover. Man.
I know. I'm not the biggest Buckler fan, but this is a huge nostalgia pick for me because this is one of the very first comics I remember reading. And as a result, I was like a major Guardians of the Galaxy mark for a long time. This is my favorite iteration of the team. I love the like original Guardians of the Galaxy. Vance Astro, I've talked about this on the show before, but Vance Astro was one of those characters where, like, when young Chris was paging through official handbook of the Marvel Universe, it was basically all about like costumes, right? Because, you don't really, that's your first like look at the character. In my case, it was my first look at the character. And so it was all about the costume. And I think Vance Astro's costume is just like top notch. I love it. It's got like a almost Silver Age DC feel to it with the simplicity. But anyway, I just thought this was such a fun book. I really got a kick out of it when I was a kid. And like, this is that crazy image of Charlie 27 there in the middle, just like is etched into my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I love the way, they've just got the Ripley effect going on and with the, it's just across the entire figure. I mean, it's really well done. And it makes, it's kind of disconcerting. I mean, the more I'm looking at it, it really bothers me the way it's drawn. On this cover, I mean, it just feels so wrong, but I can't, it's like, I want to keep looking at it because it's so well executed. Yeah, no, I was hoping, but they didn't add an extra, like the printed version. Curious how it ended up looking colored, but no, really, really nice. Yeah, Steve's.
I would be very happy to own that baby.
Yeah, me as well. I don't think I have any Buckler in my collection. Chiarello on this one, and this is in Lance Suarez, our pal Lance. He's got to pull that Mannix fundraiser together.
Yeah, and I didn't know Lance was a fan of Chiarello, so I was really happy to see this. This like layered gouache type of stuff that he is able to do is like so impressive to me. Like, this is such a feat of like understanding how these different planes work, like how you're seeing depth of things, like where you need to layer in shadows, and like how everything is just neatly blocked together, but at the same time still like very impressionistic.
There you go. Marcus says he's more of a fan of Kolchak.
Oh, that's okay. Cool. Well, that's fair. Darren McGavin's great. He was Billy Madison's dad.
Has Lance ever had anybody else do Kolchak for him? I wonder if did Mannix would probably do a cool Kolchak for him, I would think.
After you explained who Kolchak was, because like how long ago was that? And wasn't the show on for like one season or something crazy?
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah.
But very nice. Very, very nice. So yeah, one of the cool things with the app is that you can crop. So you wouldn't see Lance's carpet if he uses the app in the future, because you can take that picture, crop it, however you like, and then save it. And I did check, Chris. You can actually, and I thought this was really kind of cool. I didn't believe it at first, but in the app, when you want to, you can actually go back and edit a piece of art, and it actually pulls it into the app. So it downloads it from the server, allows you to crop it if you want, resize it, and change the contrast, whatever, and then when you resave it, it re-uploads it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So even stuff like this can get, if you're bored one day, you're sitting at home, you're like, I'm gonna go crop those photos that I uploaded, 10 years ago.
There's some stuff I would definitely do color corrections on for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking forward to that day. So congrats, Lance, on getting this nice piece. Then we have an FF 292 page. This is kind of like at the end of Burns' time on it. So it's Burns pencils, Al Gordon inks.
Mm-hmm.
I like on that one. And we're in DJ's CAF gallery. It's a big scan.
Yeah, it's a great scan. I picked this because there was a couple Burn Gordon pages from these issues posted this week. I'm a Nick Fury fan, so like seeing John Byrne do Nick Fury, I get a kick out of that. Obviously, he's fighting Hitler. I mean, that's even cooler. But really, like for me, I think the reason I want to talk about this is because like Gordon is like not an ideal Byrne inker, right? And I think like I feel like you see that here. And it's just interesting to me, like how, I think Byrne was famously critical of his inkers, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
Kind of like, Gil Kane and like a lot of people like that. But I just, this is almost like, it's so different. It's so almost non-Byrne. Like, obviously the faces and things like that, but like the inker, like Al Gordon in this case, who's so good on so many people, like it's an odd pairing.
I wonder if Al like looked at how other people inked him and then he just tried to, emulate that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, because then at the end of the day, you don't know how tight were Byrne's pencils on this either.
True. Was he hurrying? Right.
Right. Because what was his last issue? Do you know? I mean, I know it. I feel like it wasn't too much longer after this one, but
is this it actually?
Off
the top of my head, I don't remember.
I don't know. That's why I was hoping somebody in the chat would tell us. That somebody will, I'm sure. But
There's
I feel like it's at the end because that's like Byrne always like he'd just like do great work for a long extended period of time, and then when he was kind of done with it, and then he'd move on to something else, and it would always like re-energize him and stuff. So maybe being closer to the tail end of things. But either way, it's still a decent page. It's in the 290s.
Yeah,
Marcus,
I think this is
make it
392.
Is that what it was? 292? Yeah, 292.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, but I always felt that way, right? I mean, whether it was Alpha Flight or She-Hulk, he just kind of got to a point where and he had such a long run on FF, right? It was like 236 was his first issue. So for him to go, almost 50 issues on a book, there you go. 293 is probably the last one.
Okay.
So yeah, it is what it is, but I don't know. I don't think Al Gordon did a terrible job. I mean, I see.
No, certainly not. I just, like I said, I think it's an interesting point of discussion because, like, in some places, this doesn't even look like Byrne to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I like that last panel though too. I know Carl did too. All right, so DJ, congrats. Let's see. Brian says Byrne got Gordon to experiment on his inking for a few issues, and Gordon got criticized for it, but Byrne told everyone to blame him.
Huh.
Okay. Sounds
right.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, you think that Byrne could basically name his inkers, right? I mean, he should be able to have that authority. And okay. Next up, Spider-Punk. I picked this one for the show graphic because it's so damn dynamic. It's Nick Bradshaw at his best. I mean, I freaking love this thing. So
absolutely. I mean, this is everything you want from Nick Bradshaw. There's like crazy level of detail. There's all these awesome Spider-Punk poses. He really played with the background. It's it's a more graphic background than I feel like we often see from Nick, which I think is cool too, because typically, he dives right in and like really gets into like if it's a building, if it's a forest, if it's a whatever, right? But in this case, it's just this kind of iconography in the background with the webbing. And I think that was a really cool choice because again, it's atypical for him. But just all these awesome different illustrations of Spider-Punk and so tight and so clean and like so like deeply rendered.
Yeah, I love the approach to the what is it, 6 characters in the background, 5.
Yeah.
Because they're drawn in a way that even in pen and ink keeps them like lighter. I
Post
mean,
it out. Yeah.
exactly. But it's like all the details there. But he's handled the line works just different enough that that main image just pops.
Yep.
And I love this. Everything about this piece is freaking awesome. I love the lightning bolt design work he's doing in here. I mean, I don't know if that was masked off, so he could splatter some ink on there. I wonder if there's well, George could tell us, right? If there's is it splattered in between
white paint or
yeah, exactly. I'm just curious how he worked the effects in the background there. But yeah, either way, this thing is beautiful. This thing is really, really nice. It was impossible not to pick this one when I was kind of looking at the most commented pieces from that week. I mean, this piece just was screaming at me to pick it. So yes, nice one. Did I get my like on that one already? I guess it was colored in a couple different ways too. That's cool. No, see, I didn't like that one yet. There we go.
There you go.
Excuse me. Next up, a handbook of the Marvel Universe. Mike Zeck, Rick Verbanis, Captain America. It's like a match made in heaven. Right here. Look at this thing. This is beautiful.
Yeah. This is like, I already talked about this, a couple minutes ago, but my introduction to Marvel was really through Secret Wars and Official Handbook of the Marvel Universe, because those are the comics that were coming out when I was in 4th grade, when I started reading comics. And, Mike Zeck was on both and Cap was in both. And so again, this is another just image that is absolutely burned into my brain. And to see, honestly, to see it just is so, I don't know, is thrilling to me. When this came up on CAF, I was like, oh my God, somebody owns that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. We know Rick's a huge Cap fan, so yeah, I mean this is really, really, really nice. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
I mean, for me, this is one of the iconic images of Cap. So, and I think I don't think it's out of bounds to say that Zeck is one of the best Cap artists. So,
well, there's a Captain America group on Facebook. I think Zeck was voted their favorite. I guess they do every year they do a brackets.
Okay. Sure, yeah.
And I forget if it came. I think it came down to Zeck and Byrne maybe, and Zeck won out. But I think in the top 4 might have been Zeck, Byrne, Kirby, and who was the other one? I can't remember now. No, can't remember. Shoot. At any rate, it started out with 30 people. So they did, then they voted and got it down to that. And I think Alberto pitched a crazy concept. Who drew the best Captain America shield? Because apparently there's a lot of discussion on the way shields are handled by different artists.
Yeah. Well, and now I've seen a lot of guys who model it, in 3D, and then they basically lay it into the image digitally, so that the curvature is all perfect and whatever. But that's an interesting thing, because it's an easy thing to mess up.
Yeah.
And when you mess it up, it's glaring.
See, I'm gonna have to go over to Facebook and figure this out when we're looking at the next piece of art.
Okay.
I want to know. It wasn't Steranko. I can tell you that. I saw Brian suggested that, but no, it definitely was not.
I mean, it's hard to so many guys had long runs too, even more recently, John Cassidy and Brian Hitch, and I mean, there's been a lot of people that McNiven did, a few there, and he's had his list of really iconic artists, and as far as I don't know, iconic images of Cap, you kind of have to put Travis in there too for that poster or that litho that he did, and I mean, it's a one and done, but even Jim Lee, that image of Cap jumping on the title page for Uncanny X-Men,
right?
That's one of the best images of Captain America ever. Now, I don't equate Jim Lee to a Captain America artist, but that's certainly an iconic image of Cap.
Very true. Well, I'm on their page scrolling through it. I'll find it.
Okay.
But we'll move on to the next piece of art here. I think this was in Daryl's Cap gallery, right? Mark Teixeira. Punisher Warzone. This thing is beautiful.
It's so gritty. It's so like perfect for the period. The Punisher's got a freaking ponytail. You know, that dog muzzle is like so much texture on it. Like, no pun intended, but like he's putting the text and texture, right? But it's just I picked this because, well, one, I love the Punisher and I love Mark Teixeira, but I think it's such a great example of like what was going on in comics at the time. Like everything had to be like, you know, violent, gritty, street level. Like that's what everybody was hungry for, and like the Punisher just, you know, he fits the bill.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think this is Teixeira's, like you said, I think gritty is the best way to kind of define him. But yeah, this thing is amazing. I mean, I love this this panel here. You know, I don't know. I look at this and I see like a little bit of James O'Barr, because you know, there's like the way Teixeira handles you know, his inking here. He just kind of does what feels right, and it works. I mean, it works really, really well. And I loved that Cyclops book he did. You know, I used to own some pages from it, but and that's kind of probably around, well, that's a little bit after this, but still, this is a really, really nice page. Yeah, not too far, but yeah, I love it. I mean, like just with these slim panels too, telling the story. I think this is great. And I did find it, and I saw somebody did mention that it was Ron Lim, and that is correct. So there you go. That was the brackets. It came down to Kirby and Byrne, and Lim and Zach, and Byrne and Zach won, and then it was Zach who got it. So who else was in there? Epting. So in the top 8 also was Epting, Colin, Jurgens, and Sal Buscema. So who else was in there then? You had Ramita Sr., Pacheco, Ron Garney, Kieran Dwyer, Perkins, Geis, Robbins, Neary. Okay, so but I can see that. I mean, come on. I think a lot of people associate Zach with Cap. They just it's
totally
hard. I mean, he earned it. So there we go.
Thanks for digging it up.
Yep. So we got this Brian Boland, however we're going to call it. Yeah, we've got Kareem El Rafi, and just adding he always adds great stuff to his cap, but this is a very memorable image.
Right. I mean, that's really the reason to pick it. Yeah, it's Bolland, and we all know, you know, there aren't enough superlatives for him, but all these, you know, characters with Starro on their face, and I love the absolute like blank. You can tell that they're like mind wiped, right? Just because like their mouths are all like uniform, and in spite of the, like Starro covering their face, he's doing a great job of like making that like flat affect come off of them. Like they're all just, you know, like blank inside, right? Because Starro's in control. And then when you take into consideration the depth that he's able to get as he, like, you know, he loses detail as he goes further and further and further back into the crowd. But like, look at the you know, the idea of like the mass of this throng that like gives you.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's I mean, it's a showstopper. Looks like there's some damage on it. That's too bad. Like right in that little area right there.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that at first.
I don't know why, but yeah, that's unfortunate. I got some tape on it or something, but no, just a fantastic piece. So yeah, even like Brian just said, it's a grail. I'm sure Kareem feels that way, right? I mean, they're so hard to. I mean, you just don't. We've always seen a few on Heritage, I guess, recently, but still. I mean,
but there aren't many to begin with.
No, there aren't. What's Antoine saying? Bolland's Artist Edition book is getting a reprint for $50. Well, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very, very cool piece, and Kareem has to be pretty happy with. I imagine he had a few comments on that one. 21 comments, not too shabby. I know I put my like on this one in the app.
Nice.
Yes, I think I was lying in bed when I did that. You can't do that today on CAF, but I'm telling you, in about a month and a half, I hope many of you will be. Let's see, which one is the last one here? We're in Myron Tay's CAF Gallery. And let's see, first, this is a Batman visual history cover by Jason Fabak. Wow.
I saved a big one for last.
Doggone, man. Look at that.
Yeah. I mean, this is the definitive image of Batman and like basically the entire Bat family, the Rogues Gallery. Like, this is everything you could ever want by Jason Fabok on Batman. So if you're a fan of his, if you're a fan of Batman, I mean, this is like, I just love the fact that this is like the ultimate statement by this artist on this character. There's just something so cool about that to me.
Right. He's got to take all these pivotal moments from,
right,
a few other artists that, you know who did them, and he's got to make them all work, but, pull it all together in a piece that's all his own. I mean, that's challenging as hell.
Right. And there are some obvious tributes, right? Like that's definitely a Jim Lee Joker. That's definitely DKR up there on the top. You know, that's definitely like a Graham Nolan-esque Batman, or I'm sorry, Bane, breaking Batman. I mean, and like these little like tip of the cap type things, but it's still definitely his.
Right. Wow. Yeah, this is really, really nice.
Talk about wall power too. I mean, what does this thing look like on your wall? That's crazy.
Oh my God.
And all in that really cool, like sweeping graphic shape for the cape.
I wonder how it was printed. Oh, here we go. Published cover. Let's see how that ended up looking. But I wonder how they did that. I mean, it couldn't have been a wraparound, right? I mean, I guess it had to have been, but really?
Maybe.
How does that work? I was like, I know that's not the image. I'm like, this is all different here. Like they even took the Dark Knight Returns image out.
Yeah, you're right.
Wonder why they did that. There's just a couple. See, I can't see the whole image.
I think this one's better.
Oh my gosh, it's
the race image. The race image, especially because they've got the duel up there at the top, where it's on the other one. It's just kind of a big dopey picture of his head.
Right. That doesn't. Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Yeah. Plus, they added the bats. I really don't like the bats. Add nothing. Like literally, they detract from it.
Well.
Bad choice, DC.
Oh, that's why we don't. Yes, that's why we don't like to look at the color. Yeah, look, even the kiss is different, isn't it? Isn't it a little different? Like,
I think so.
See. Yeah, look, they're not kissing.
They're not kissing.
What
DC, come on.
I mean, yeah, they really messed that one up.
And like somebody in the chat pointed out, like on the printed version, his head is down, and on the penciled version, his head is up. He looks more like.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it looks more like proud and stoic, and on the other one, he looks kind of like he's pouting. Interesting.
Yeah. What the heck? Well, yeah, there's a lot of difference. Everybody's thumbs upping the original.
Yeah, the original is much better.
I'd rather see the original printed. So, that's unfortunate. But this is beautiful, and it would have been better on one sheet of paper. I saw somebody say that.
But how would you do this on one sheet of paper?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, everything would be this big.
Large. Yes. Yes, CJ, we agree. They effed up the printed version. What a mess. Yes. All right. Well, that doesn't happen too often, but anyways, this is beautiful, and yeah.
And we all got to talk about it. That was fun.
Exactly. And Myron has a wonderful piece of art. How many comments does he have on this thing? Only 5. Everybody, you got to go over there today. And Myron's in Singapore. Leave him a comment about how freaking awesome this piece of art is, and don't even talk about the colored piece. We're just going to ignore the fact that it doesn't look anything like.
I think he said in the description that the changes were all done digitally. So this is the only way to get this image anyway. So good for you, Myron.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, well there we go. 10 great picks, Chris.
Thank you.
Hopefully I can measure up as well. Let's see here, because I don't remember what I picked. That's what's on top here.
Funny how that happens, isn't it? I typically do mine on Monday morning, and then by Thursday night, I'm like, what did I pick?
Yes, exactly. I know I feel like I picked a lot of easy ones, but let's see here. I picked a DC piece here first. Dan Jurgens, Brett Breeding. Let me fix my screen here a little bit. Death and Return of Superman cover. This is in Carl's Calf Gallery. I just, it was such an interesting time, right, with Death of Superman, and I don't know. I just feel like this cover just kind of is
like sums it up.
It sums up everything. It's Jurgens pencils, and he was so influential on much of the story.
Yeah,
I just think it's a beautiful piece. I really like it a lot, and
that's great.
I kind of came back to it 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, yeah, this is my favorite. I kind of kept it even in my number 1 slot. I liked it that much. What Carl says, Dan did the pencils for me at OAX.
Cool.
Very cool.
Jurgens is so clean and such a good draftsman. I have like a ton of respect for him.
Yep. Without question. Yeah, he was very interesting to, I've had him on the show obviously before we had him at OAX, and just getting to talk with him there and everything. Really nice guy, super knowledgeable. He's somebody I could talk to probably a couple times a year on the channel and not get bored chatting with him because of his time in the business and everything. I think we'd all learn a lot. Something different. We could focus on different areas of his work, and who he got to work with, whether he was writing or if he was penciling and somebody else was inking him. But yeah, this is fantastic. So congrats on this one, Carl. Let's see, what was this one? Oh, that's right, Gene Colan, Tom Palmer. I can't get away from Gene Colan. I love his stuff. And again, they're using the word balloons to basically, break up
draw you through
panels, and and drawing you through as well. And I just think it's I don't know, it's fun. It's just such a great piece, and I really love these last 2 panels. All the action lines around them, these creatures around Doctor Strange. I mean, it's just I just love it. I just think Gene Colan, he had a unique vision and the way he wanted to draw his characters and everything.
Yeah.
And Palmer was just great on him. So this one's fun. I mean, I just always remember.
What I like about him is he's loose and he's expressive, and like his art is never boring. You can say whatever you want about it, but it's never boring.
Yeah, no, so true. And I remember, as a kid, I didn't like him at all. I mean, as a kid, I'm saying like when I was 13 to 15, 16, whatever, and I didn't like Kirby either for the same reason. I'm like, why are these old guys drawing stuff? We're bring on the Perez and John Burns and everything. But, I was a fool. And I'm sure that the people who were reading comics were like, this is, these are the people they wanted to see, who came in 20 years before me. But yeah, I can't get enough of it. These days, if I was made of money, I'd be buying as many Gene Colan pages, as I could. So
I think it's funny how I've talked to so many people who have had that same exact experience. It's like the hot artists at the time. So for me, it was like, Art Adams, Mike Mignola, Kevin Nolan, then Jim Lee, and Todd McFarlane, and like that kind of stuff. But like, I remember distinctly having a conversation with one of my friends when I was like 15 years old about how horrible Jack Kirby was.
Right.
And then like 10 years later, I was like, what was I thinking? And it doesn't take long, but like the more you appreciate the medium and the more you appreciate like, not just from a historical perspective, but like all the different things that like you begin to kind of like onboard as a person who appreciates the art, then that's when you like grow, is when you realize that like the underpinnings of everything and like that kind of stuff. And again, not even from a historical perspective, but from like an influence perspective.
So true. And I did like CJ's comment as well, where he says he paints with his pencils. That's true. I mean, there's plenty of pencil-only pieces by Gene on Cap, and I very much agree with that statement. All the way to the end. I mean, because there's a lot of pencil pieces that people got from con sketches and things when he was, more or less out of comics, but doing commissions at shows and take home stuff. And he always had that same kind of painterly flair with his
feathery.
pencils.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So congrats to My Name is Legion for this one. Very, very well done. And then this is Pat L's Cap Gallery. So Adam Hughes Spider-Gwen cover. I just kept coming back to this one because, at first it threw me. I was like, what the heck, the imagery here. And then I finally got it, kind of as a backdrop to the band and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, and once I got it, I liked it a lot. But up until that point, I was like, I just couldn't quite figure out what I was looking at. But after I figured it out, I was like, damn, I really like this a lot. Adam's, he can kind of do no wrong. I mean, we can pick a piece by Adam Hughes every single week. Yeah. But yeah, there was something about, I like the way he's treated the Spider Gwen or Spider Ghost or whatever the heck the name
Ghost
is.
Spider.
Ghost Spider. Thank you. And the way he's kind of handled that differently as far as with whatever paint, whatever he's doing here with that versus the background or the cities. I just think it just kind of makes it pop well, and I like that he's kind of abstracted the things that are up close and that are real. The hands holding the guitars and everything. To me, it's just like he simplified it. The drummer, the drum set. Yeah, and I think that's
what's cool is you would think the tendency would be to do the opposite, right? Like the tendency would be like, okay, if the musicians and the bandstand are quote unquote real, right? You would like dial them up and like have them have the painterly effect and like whatever, and then the image of Ghost Spider that's like being the center of the image, you'd think that would be more graphic and like whatever, but he just like made really cool, very, non-Adam Hughesy decisions in this. Like this is more like, this is something I would expect to see from like Dave Johnson.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Yeah, well, I love it. I don't even think I thought Adam Hughes when I saw the thumbnail either. And but yeah, this is great. This is a really, really nice piece. And what do we got on here? We got 15 comments on it. All right, good. So Pat L's been getting some love from this one. So that is nice to see. Congrats, Pat, for that one. Then Moon Knight, Bill Sienkiewicz. This is in, was it Soren's CAF gallery, right? Yep, Soren, 16-year CAF member. Outside of the, whatever the faded, whether that's marker or whatever, I just, when Sienkiewicz was doing Moon Knight, this is just so nice. I love it. I love his storytelling throughout this. These last three.
It's really sharp.
Moon Knight was always so violent. He's always punching people or getting punched. And these are just, it's so dynamic. I love it.
Like some of it like got really, deliberately, right? Like deliberately like scratchy, sketchy, like where he was like doing different effects with inking and things like that. But like this is maybe because of the setting, maybe it's because it's in a subway. Like all the architectural stuff is really, really tight.
It is. Yeah, this is nice.
Great page. Rich
Danny says this was still his Neil Adams period. Well, definitely. Yeah. He's keeping the line work kind of similar, but it's Moon Knight. As a character, Bill's style, even if he's still got Neil Adams in his blood at this point, it just works so dang well. I like on this one. So Soren's got a great CAF gallery too. If you haven't checked it out, you definitely should. And he's got look, it even says NFS private collection, all caps, everybody. So don't ask him about it.
Back off.
That's a statement. Then this one just made me smile. Doug Pfluger. Doug's a good guy. And this is, what was this from? It's from 2001 Space Odyssey, number 5, page 1. I don't know what, this isn't 2001 Space Odyssey to me as a movie. But, Kirby got to do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I see this thing and I couldn't help but smile. And the funny thing was, I think there was 3 or 4 really nice Kirby title pages that got posted to CAF this last, in that week. And a couple of them might have been artistically better than this one, but I like this one so much more, than the other ones because it's just so crazy and it's got so much of Kirby ethos in it, and just the way he wanted to draw this wacky creature that is, it's got like a pair of buck teeth and I mean, there's just
like
so much
webbed, like flippers, kind of.
right,
Yeah.
right. It's like this is Jack Kirby at doing whatever the hell he wants and getting away with it, and I love it. I'm sure when Doug saw this thing, and I've always wanted to get a 2001 page. I have to say, I look for them. I bid on a few of them. I've never gotten lucky enough to get one. I always kept hoping like something would pop up with Berkey or Anthony, and I could get in trade for my work with them, and nothing. And, they don't come up too often.
Yeah.
So I think this is wonderful, and definitely on my I would put this pretty high. If I was to get another Kirby page, I'd want to get a 2001 page. It's either that or a Skymasters daily, which is the other thing. I want to get a Kirby Wood Skymasters one day.
There's a really nice one next Wednesday. I just saw one that I was in love with.
There you go, Doug. Congrats, Doug. You did really well with this one.
Yeah, I actually talked to Doug about this, and I think he bought this for all the absolutely right reasons. So
fantastic. I mean, all that, and I'm sure all the lettering's on the board. I mean, this is just, it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's wonderful. So if I could like it twice, I would, but I can't. Let's see here.
When you on the app, you like it twice on the app.
You can't. Unfortunately, I've been testing it. There's no way around it. You can only like it once. But let's see here. So this was, this is our friend Ram, right? Isn't it? Yeah, Mr. Hager, and this is just really nice. I like on here too. So Richard Howell, did we talk? Ever we had anything discussion about?
I mean, Alcala lots of
yeah.
times, but no, I'm not familiar whatsoever.
No,
and that's saying something.
But I think this thing is gorgeous. I mean, I'm sure it's Alcala, his inks, but I mean, just the idea of he's flying through a cavern. I just love the the whole playing around with the ceiling here.
No, wait, are those stalactites or stalagmites?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, you're right. Is he like casually flying?
Right, is he flying on his back, or is he?
That is a good question. Well, page 2 would probably, or whatever the next page is, would tell us. Rob says Howell is one of my favorite Hawkman artists. Alcala's inks on things always look so good to me too. So, without question. Well, this is nice. This is a very nice page.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. No, but Howell. I mean, I'll have to go look at what else did Howell work on that of note. I really, I'm just not familiar with his name.
Me neither. And I love DC and I love Hawkman, but that just is not a name that rings a bell.
Nope. I'm gonna click the search and I'm gonna come back to that tab later. Then Harvey and Jeff Wedding's at Calf Gallery, and there was a lot of Star Wars art posted last week.
Yep.
It was hard to, and I actually do have picked 2 pieces of Star Wars art. But the first one, this was in Jeff Wedding's Calf Gallery, Star Wars High Republic Adventures. I love Harvey's line work, and with these 2 panels, I mean, I kept looking at everything around the characters again. Like the way he's handling the architecture in this room, right? The geometry is just wild, and even in this one here, it's like when he's got these hanging wires or conduits or whatever the hell's going in there, and then you mix in his cross hatching and the way he handles lights and darks and stuff here. I just really I loved it, and I love the way then I look at, and then I finally focus on the figure, and the figure is drawn very clear without any no cross hatching, and he's not really playing around with that, and it just makes the character pop. So I like this page a lot.
There's something to be said for like a great contour line artist. And, that's really what Harvey is. Like, it allows you to do like an incredible level of detail while kind of keeping things, still clean. I mean, I think that's really what like a Jeff Darrow, is ultimately doing. Like it's a very clean, but very dense, like contour line drawing. And Harvey's kind of like cut from that same cloth. I mean, he doesn't like go there kind of like stylistically or, whatever like Darrow does, but it's that kind of that same school of thought where things are more open, but you can really like, there's a lot of lines ultimately.
Definitely. Well, congrats to Mr. Wedding for picking this one up. I know Jeff posted a lot of A lot of artwork this last week. So this is my favorite. Then on this next one, this is in Kavi's gallery, and I wrestled between this piece by Gorham and the one that Mikhail had posted.
Yeah.
They were both freaking amazing. All right.
Mhm.
Mikhail's was like very dark and which is so cool with Vader getting blown out of the ship, and it was awesome. But I kept I had these two side by side. I did. I actually looked at them for a few minutes, and I was like, all right, I got to go with Kavi's. Just the hands, right? I kept coming back to the hands, and the way he's telling the story just with to me with just their hand and arm gestures and stuff.
Yeah.
There was just something about the storytelling in this piece that I liked more than I think I liked Mikhail's page as a work of art better. But when I'm thinking about narrative artwork, I just felt like this one there was just so much conveyed in these hands, right? I mean,
yeah, it's kind of like a dance.
Yeah, I did. And so the narrative side of me, that I appreciate in storytelling won out on a piece that I kind of liked more artistically, because I just thought Mikhail's page was freaking awesome. This one, so there you go. Kavi, I think Kavi posted, a few pieces of Star Wars art. He's a big fan too, just like Mikhail is. And, but yeah, and that happens sometimes, right? I mean, the issue was that artists were the same. I might have picked both of them if they weren't both done by Gorham.
Yeah. I think the other thing that I like about this is the balance, right? Like the blacks on Vader and then the whites on the other character, and like the way he's making them opposed, right? Like you said, it's basically the same thing as the hands, right? Like they're like pushed apart, they're coming together, and then they're pushed apart again. It's the same with the black and the white.
Yeah, very true.
That's a cool.
I didn't even think of it like that, but now the more I look at it, you're right. That's probably a part of what I was appreciating out of it too, because in the first panel, his figure is kind of around her, as and with the just his the lightsaber to his other hand. Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's it's back to the storytelling though. So very good one. So congrats to Kavi, Mikhail, and Jeff Wedding, and everybody else who posted a lot of Star Wars art last week. I enjoyed seeing it.
Me too.
Two more to go here. This was a simple one, and it's funny. This is in Margaret Lee's cap gallery. I don't think we've ever picked anything by Margaret. When I was looking at this piece, because there's so many George Perez sketches out there, right? And I just when I kept coming back to this one, because I like there's loose George Perez convention sketches, and there's more tight ones. This one is tight. Her eyes, nose, her lips, everything. It's just tight, and this is the kind of Perez con sketches that I appreciate the most. Yeah, because there's other ones, because he worked so hard. He would do so many of them, and they're distinctly Perez. But I love how clean this piece is, and so I wanted to pick it just for that. And and I don't feel I picked anything from Margaret before. But I like this one a lot, and
it's also larger than most. Like what's being included. So many of them it's just a headshot, and like there's nothing on Dream Girl's costume typically that you're like, oh, it's Dream Girl. But like when you see the at least the bust level, you can infer that it's Dream Girl, and like I think that helps a lot here.
Very true. So, Margaret, congrats. I don't think I've seen her in the chat this evening, but we got a piece featured from you.
It's a beauty.
Nice George Perez. I like on that one. And last, but certainly not least, Alex Garcia got this great Adam Kubert, Dan Green, Wolverine 92 page. I don't even want to click. I guess I'll try to click on it, see how big it is. Okay. Look at that thing, man. The inking on this thing is gorgeous. I mean, Dan Green can do no wrong. I mean, I love it. I mean,
that bottom panel.
I know. And again, the word, the word boxes here, telling the story, moving your eye around. Oh gosh, it's just, I want this page. It's like, how do people find the opportunity to pick up these pages? Where was this one? because it's beautiful. It makes me. I got to get Adam to bring some art to a new art drop that I can look at before.
You get a little Vindicator cameo there too.
Yes. What am I supposed to say again, Jason? I have no idea. I didn't see him when he said that, but yeah, look at that. This is a great page. Doggone it.
Yeah, it's amazing. God, that bottom panel is just
I know.
haunting.
It really is. I mean, look at all the work done in the inks here. I mean, he's using Green's using like the shadows to basically outline the figure, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the shape of this arm goes into the shadow, but he's just blobbing the ink around here, and it works. It's very loose. The lighting on it is dramatic, but dang. Oh, Dan Green can do no wrong. Okay, I can say that all day. I know that.
I'll say it too. Dan Green can do no wrong.
Yeah, it is so true. I'd love to have 100 pieces of art that Dan Green inked. Doesn't matter who the penciler was. So, but congrats, Alex. Alex is a good dude and definitely deserving of a piece like this. So,
does he say where he came by it?
Let's see. No, just he was out of comics in the 90s. A handful of artists he followed during that decade. Adam Kubert being one. Loves the way Wolverine is being portrayed here, especially in the last panel. Definitely.
We can all agree.
Yep. All right. Well, that concludes my picks as well.
We're all done.
Yeah, we did it. Look at it. It's not even 11:30 yet. My goodness.
Love it.
Wow. All right. Well, that's probably a good thing. I've still got work to do tonight. I've got some emails to prep. So hope people don't feel like they're getting spammed over the next 3 days. I'll keep everything down to a minimum. Just want to make sure everybody's up to speed with the art drop times and everything. Do you have a booth? I can't remember.
I do. Yep.
I remember you telling me you were going to have a booth, but I actually haven't really looked at too much that's on the floor yet. But yeah, cool. Well, I hope things go well for you.
Thank you, sir. I do too. It's all funding. It's all funding more art.
Yeah, one thing I forgot. Let me just pull this back, because the one thing that does remind me that on the preview. I mean, there is kind of a preview, right? If you click on exhibitors right now, you can actually go in and set up some kind of favorite your list. So you can set these up, and it makes it easier to find them later. It's basically like setting bookmarks for for people you like. So you can just go through here and set those up, and then you can go back and just like look at your favorites. And so that works for for sellers, but also I'll just do this. Can I do it? Yeah, here. I'm going to go to my booth and not show you anything. So I can show you what, as a reminder to everybody about CAPS. This is really kind of the last opportunity I'm going to have to show everybody this. But again, it's the one thing you definitely want to do. Here we go. Okay. I'll go over to what piece of art. All right, I'll go to the demo piece of art that Maureen put in my CAF gallery here.
I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, it's a piece of Pikachu. We've been using this to test with. But remember this whole save button thing, right? This is, I feel like most people remember to use it and know about it. But, when you see a piece of art that you are interested in, or might be interested in, or like you do, like throwing thrill bids on stuff that you're curious to see if it sells, and if so, maybe where it ends up selling, what it sells for, right? Go click the save button. I mean, I think we keep it. Do we have it on the bottom too? No, it's only on the top. So when you click save, there is actually going to end up being a link underneath the Comic Art Live list here that'll have like my saved artworks. Yep. So that gives you the opportunity to bust through the show in the first hour that you're there, save a lot of pieces, and then start thinking about them. Unless there's something you had to buy right away. This gives you the opportunity to do that. But even more important than that is, once you've saved a piece of art to your list, say on Sunday, the seller's got like 5 people who saved this artwork already. in your booth admin, it's going to say it's got 5 saves. And the cool thing for the booth, for the person whose booth that's in, they can click that. That's a link where it says saves equals 5 or whatever. And it allows you to do like a reverse, retargeting those people. You can hopefully, as a seller, you're thinking about it. Maybe it's a $500 piece. You're going to lower it to $425 on Sunday. And you got 5 people that saved it. And in fact, you lower it to $425 because you have 5 people who saved it.
Yeah.
So you lower it to $425, and then you shoot an email out to them saying, I've just lowered my Pikachu birthday card art to $425. And that sends an email out to those people who saved it, and with a link in it to easily get them back in there. So, saving is a good thing, not only just for your own bookkeeping during the weekend, but
get you a deal.
It might get you a deal at the same time. You might be, and you might be the only one doing it, but the seller's looking at it and they're like, damn it, I got one last chance, to sell this one. So, so please do that. And it's good. I do it a lot. I usually save like 30 or 40 pieces, throughout the weekend. And sometimes I save them because I want to see if they sell. I'm just curious, will this piece sell at the price it's listed at?
Absolutely. Yeah.
We all learn something. So
it's all market data.
Exactly. So please do that a lot, and the sellers will appreciate it because they know that means people are looking at it. We show the number of views on each artwork that they get to, and but this is just another good measuring stick. So
Seamus is taking a more punitive approach. He says he's raising his prices on Sunday.
The more people like my art and they're not buying it.
You snoozed and you losed.
Paul Simonson, right? If you're gonna wait till Sunday, I'm doubling. Yeah, I get it. There's a lot of ways to approach that, but anyway. So there you have it. But use it as a buyer. As a buyer, it just makes a lot of sense, and it really has helped me pick up stuff at the end of the day, because you look at, there's so much art that's going to be posted to the show that you can't remember everything. Because if you don't send an email, this is the best way to remember what you're most interested in. So, cool. And I've picked up pieces by doing that. I've missed pieces when I've done it too, just by forgetting to go back. But I've every show, I feel like I've picked up at least one piece at the end, because I usually do my purchasing on Sunday. I hate to say it, I don't buy early.
Sure.
But yeah, it works. So there you have it. Awesome. Close that window. Chris, fun as always, man. I appreciate it. And I know, what is it, 2 weeks from now? Or is it
2 weeks? Yeah. My
2 weeks from now,
my 30th anniversary at my employer is on that day, and so they're throwing me a party.
My goodness, 30 years with one employer.
Started there in sweeping floors when I was in college.
Doggone it, man. You must be one of the most tenured people there, right? I mean,
surprisingly, I'm the youngest person to ever hit 30 years, but there are a lot of folks who've been around a long time. It's a great place to work. So
I was just say, it's got to be a great place to work.
Yep.
That's
no
wonderful.
complaints.
Doggone it. All right. Well,
so Jason D will be doing picks that night, so you guys can see a lot of X-Men art, I have a feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see how many Dan Green artworks he picks when you're not here. All right, listen, Chris, fun as always. Have a wonderful night. Happy birthday, and we'll see you again next week.
Good luck this weekend. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. See ya. All right. Yeah, Jason. You got that right, man. Everybody's going to be, scrutinizing all 10 of your picks. So, choose wisely, my friend. All right. So like I said, I hope I don't bore people with the emails I'm going to be sending out over the next couple of days, but I promise I'll keep them as concise as possible to each segment, whether you're somebody who's probably just going to be attending the show or if you're an exhibitor. We've got just a few emails more to go out. Well, there'll probably be a reminder email on Mystery Sketches again tomorrow. It's great that we've hit a record number of sales on that. And at the end of the day, we're putting money in artists' hands, which is fantastic, and creating more artwork to make its way onto CAF. And I think that's the part I enjoy, as part of doing Comic Art Live is that. I really do. So I'm looking forward to the weekend. I hope everybody else is as well. Please tune in tomorrow night at 9 if you bought a mystery sketch, because you'll get to see some of the artists working on them. We'll find out who gets the 3 giveaways and who also will get the upgrade to Simone DeMeo. And employees are not allowed. So my five winning, I just won't even put myself on the wheel. Or maybe not, you know what? I'm going to put myself on the wheel. That'll be fun. I'll be on there 5 times, but if I'm picked, I will not get it. So Jiggy, we'll see you tomorrow night. Jiggy will be on with me at 9 o'clock tomorrow evening to kick things off. So have a wonderful night, everybody. And again, if you have any issues with the setting up your booth or any questions like that, you can hit me up. I might not reply right away, but email me, bill@comiccartfans.com, and I will do my best to help you out. So have a wonderful evening. See you again tomorrow at 9.